No way am I a loser. Well, you're wrong now, bye-bye.
Stream Elements says, Scorpwana is now live. Streaming Star Trek Online, the day before after it will end, October 22nd, 2022.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hey there, Ox. What's happening? I'm eating again. So if nobody likes to hear me eat, I'm sorry. But Caught in a trap. Did you make your not apple pie?
OXNYX053 says, about to run the event. Got laundry done early, so only a lunch break till I have to get ready for work.
Ah. Your lunch break. Bing, 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 bing. Bam, shakalackum. Oh my God, y'all take care of this shit. Here we go. Oh man. This one's taken. Let's see. So maybe there's somebody over there? How many people are in this instance? Current map 12, okay? Let's see what's closer. This way. Bum 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 bum. Oh shit. I was hoping for that there to be unlocked. It is unlocked, it's just not working. What the hell? Huh. Okay. Oh no, wait. Wrong one. This one. Ooh, that's about to, okay. Let's see. One done there. Okay. Mr. Valve.
Surreal_Claps says, "Hey Big Chief, been checking out the Deceased comic series aka DC Comics Zombie Apocalypse. Very awesome. Highly recommend it. Unless y'all like spoilers, then I can tell ya who gets shredded."
Deceased DC comic? Wait, is it DC Comics, but it's Deceased? Zombie Apocalypse? What? They have a zombie series?
Surreal_Claps says,
Yee. Is it like the superheroes become zombies or something?
Surreal_Claps says, "Remember the anti-life equation."
Anti-life equation. Why does that sound familiar? Was that like Doomsday and all of them, and what the hell was his name? Shit. I can't think of it. Brainiac. Brainiac-io. Bracomania. Dumbasses, come over here.
Surreal_Claps says, "It's the mathematical virus that infects all living things via technology and biological organisms alike, becoming insane and driven to spread said virus violently."
Ooh. In the DC Comics or in the life? Deceased Comics.
Surreal_Claps says, "In DC Comics."
Ah. Can't say that I can recall all of it, but I did remember hearing that being mentioned somewhere before. Caught in a trap, can't walk out, because I love you too much, baby.
Surreal_Claps says, "If Darkseid gets a hold of the anti-life equation, he will possess the means to control all free will and rule the universe forever unopposed."
Darkseid. Side. And he's never got like his eyes on it or anything.
Surreal_claps says, Batman funny enough is the one who kills the dark god Darkseid. Not Superman or Green Lantern or Flash.
Really? What was that one thing? It's one of the Justice League either episodes or cartoon movie where
Surreal_claps says, he makes a special suite designed to make the Batman invulnerable to Darkseid's laser beam attacks called Omega Beams.
who makes the special suit?
Surreal_claps says, suit asterisk.
Batman makes it?
Surreal_claps says, Batman does.
There was that one that I had seen where everybody was kind of taken over and their mind read or something, but Batman was able to keep dude out of his head, and he able to defeat the guy because of the sheer willpower that Bruce Wayne / Batman has inside of his own head. Like his ultra contingency plans for everybody, you know. What was that about? That was a long time ago I saw that. When you don't believe a word I'm saying, here we go again. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Surreal_claps says, I think it was called Tower of Babel or something, where Batman is discovered to have a contingency for literally almost every possible event or outcome.
I think, yeah. But was that the one, though, that this entity or villain could read the minds and, like, control people or whatever or something, but they couldn't for Batman?
All 3 silos are under Allied control. Excellent work. The Bob Fortress has engaged transporters. Troops inbound.
Surreal_claps says, not sure about the villain part, it sounds familiar, just don't remember who had those powers.
I think I remember, like, Batman was humming, like, Farah Shaka or whatever in his mind the whole time. And the guy couldn't think of, or couldn't react to the next thing that Batman was about to do. So Batman was able to defeat him. It's almost kind of how Deadpool is, in a way, where nobody can read his mind because he doesn't even know what he's going to do next.
Surreal_claps says, was it Brainiac?
I don't think it was Brainiac. But I could be wrong. I mean, it was one of the, I don't want to say the Justice League, like either an episode or one of their movies from back in like the late 90s.
Surreal_claps says, LMAO, what about the Joker's mind?
Right? But I can't remember what that was. Now I don't want to know again.
Surreal underscore claps says, could have been Darkseid.
I don't remember. Let's see. Pure willpower. It's not John. He blocks community using their team learning to Beck. Ah, damn it. What's that stupid... Okay. Somebody here... What's that stupid song? Dr. Destiny? Let's see. Yeah, what's that stupid song going through your brain? Batman says, it's what's keeping you out, Johnny. Only
Surreal
a
underscore
Dream Part
claps
2.
says, Jayons.
Yeah, Justice League, only a
Surreal
Dream Part
underscore
2.
claps says, the last living Martian.
John Jones? No, this is, whoever Dr. Destiny is.
OXNYX053 says, song question?
No, it is, it says Justice League TV series, only a Dream Part 2. Kevin Conroy is Batman Bruce Wayne. Dr. Destiny, coming here was a mistake of your life. You see, the closer I am to someone, the stronger I get. I'll be able to go into your brain, even if you're wide awake. Batman, my brain is not a nice place to be. Dr. Destiny, you know, I could let you go. You're a distraction now. And it's the others I have a real problem with. We're like insects to them. They step on us, ruin our lives, and they don't even realize it. But you're different. You don't have any special powers. Batman, oh, I have one, Johnny. I never give up. And that's whenever he attempts to read his mind. What's that stupid song going on in your brain? It's what's keeping you out, Johnny. So it's something that that Batman can do to prevent anyone from, like, reading his mind or some shit. I say the word song. Ox is like, song? Question?
Surreal underscore claps says, just looked him up. Interesting character.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember that, but it's like one of the things, because Batman in the DC universe is like my favorite.
He probably enjoys some nice slow jizz music.
Slow jizz music? But Batman is like my favorite DC Comics character. Because of the fact that he doesn't have superpowers.
Surreal underscore claps says,
intellect.
MGG Jam.
Damn it, I clicked Shit, I'm getting fired upon both ways here. V'ger.
Surreal underscore claps says, Batman and Joker best duo.
That's right. Hey, did you see that DC released the name of the original Joker?
Arcanoloth says, fun fact, the band playing in the Mos Eisley Cantina in Star Wars is playing in a genre called jizz.
Jizz.
Surreal underscore claps says, the Batman and Superman bro moments are nice too.
Yeah.
Surreal underscore claps says, what?
Yeah, his name is okay, you know, like there are 3 official Jokers in the DC universe, like throughout Batman's reign in the main Batman. You know, like animated series, DC Comics, that sort of thing.
Surreal
Throughout his whole
Claps
lifetime.
says, at Arcanoloth LMFAO, that's amazing.
If I can remember, let's see. Okay, you know Jack Napier, right? That is not the original Joker. However, that is a man that became a Joker, but not the original
Arcanoloth
Joker.
says, yeah, ain't that great?
I mean, that's the one that's from the movies, 89 Batman, you know. But the one that Batman first encounters and has a huge rival with throughout most of Batman's mythology is the first Joker. And his name, while it is Jack, his first name, Jack Oswald White is the Joker's real name.
OXNYX053 says, anyone else have a Trilith Pattern device and want to try to auto-gank the boss on Cat's Tail, as a proper placement should uncover the switches to hit.
Yeah, that's the thing that you were telling me about last year. Yeah, that the device thing. I think one of my captains does have one of those.
Surreal_Claps says, Jack. Not my first guess, but it works.
Yeah.
Arcanoloth says, I also found out that although Boba Fett's ship is frequently referred to as Slave One in the expanded universe and in toy marketing, it was never said on screen, and Disney is very consciously avoiding that name.
Because of the whole slave thing? Yeah, apparently, like the Killing Joke or whatever, the Joker movie of an origin story, it's almost that origin story for the original Joker. He was a comic that was bad on his luck, and he had a wife and child, and he thought that they had died, and kind of went mad, and started doing things or whatever, and then an accident happens, not a bad accident, but something accidentally happens to him, even whatever, and he kind of forgets that he ever had a life before being the Joker. Bruce Wayne takes care of Jack's wife and child, having them like set up in like a home or whatever under a different name, and he helps like keep them, you know, in their house and keeps them fed, kind of thing, or whatever like that, and doesn't want the Joker to remember that those are his like relatives or some shit like that. So this whole time it's like Batman's been taking care of Joker's family, trying to get Joker some help to reunite them. And that's why he's been hesitant about like ever killing the Joker in particular, or like just sending him to Arkham and you know, trying to get him help the whole time, because he's trying to help him get back to his family. If I remember that stuff correct. It's probably a little inaccurate.
Surreal_Claps says, damn. Never knew that was the reason.
Yeah, they released that information or whatever, because everybody kept wondering like who is the Joker. So that's the official like one from like animated series in the comics and all that, I think. But there's supposed to be like, I don't know if it's referred to in a comic or if it's like in the animated series at some point, where Batman refers to the first Joker as Jack. And everybody assumed he was talking about Jack Napier, but he wasn't. And having the name Oswald, it's like saying Oswald Cobblepot, right? Because, you know, the Penguin is Oswald Cobblepot.
Arcanoloth says, my personal headcanon is the comic where they ask the Joker which of his multiple backstories are true, and he replies, if I have to have a past, I prefer it be multiple choice.
Right.
OXNYX053 says, I am a dumbass. I just tried to close your rep window.
You tried to close my reputation window. Oh my God. That's funny, man. You're like, well, I want it
Arcanoloth
closed.
says, I think the idea that we don't know is more interesting than knowing, but if they have to collapse the waveform by observing it, then the multiple Jokers idea is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Scorpwana says, https://www.cbr.com/Joker real name Jack Oswald White DC/.
But I never thought about it.
OXNYX053 says, I just clicked over to claim the random bonus 50 points while doing inventory.
Why won't it close? You probably have your screen set up differently than mine, though, right? Like scale-wise. Because everybody always says, you know, they ask me why do I use the default size. It just is easier for me to use that. I mean,
Arcanoloth says, default scale is fine for 1080p.
Yeah. Well, I'm using what is it? 150 by shit, I can't remember. Can't remember my own damn scaling. Let's see.
Arcanoloth says, 1440p might want to tweak it a bit. 4K for sure.
For sure. Shaw. Did you say Shaw? For sure. Yeah, okay, mine is 1680 by 1050 is my monitor's resolution. So that's why that's it and it's of course shrank down for, you know, 720 for the stream, which kind of I think bunches it down a little bit, so it's scale wise it's maybe a little, you know, more of a whitey look because it's scrunching it down from top to bottom more, so people won't be to scale. But it's just a little bit, so it's not really that bad of a thing. I mean, I could do it like everybody else and put it over here in a window by itself on the left side.
Arcanoloth says, I was looking at monitors earlier. I have a 27-inch 1080p 144 Hz display I picked up for $150 on a Walmart flash sale.
Nice.
Can't complain at that price.
That is pretty good.
Arcanoloth says, someday I'd like to upgrade, but that's low priority.
Yeah. I need to do like a major upgrade, but I can't seem to just push myself in that direction for some reason. I think of it as like, what if I waste money that I need?
OXNYX053 says, I've got like a 24 standard windowed screen on like a 37:1 perceptive monitor. So my Twitch page pokes out underneath on both sides. Arcanoloth says, the high refresh rate displays tend to be lower resolution because the target audience will run them on lower residential anyway to max FPS.
Residential. Text-to-speech. Dude, I got so obsessed over text-to-speech this past morning because I got on the game because I couldn't sleep. And went under Gary the Klingon so I can get him some more like
Arcanoloth
stuff.
says, whereas if you look at displays based on color quality or office work, then 4K is more affordable these days. 1440p is a middle road for people trying to run games and do other stuff.
All that stuff comes in with that stuff. So I got Gary some Dyson marks and stuff. And then when I got off of there, I was thinking, okay, you know, looking around.
Surreal_claps says, I'm Stuff.
Your Stuff? Hello there, Stuff. And I found, like, I don't know how I got to it, but it was like the Microsoft text. Oh, yeah. I was going to look up a Scottish accent voice or whatever for my text-to-speech on here, just because Sammy Ray said it would be funny if I did
on
that.
A budget, I'd tell anyone that has only one display, grab a second cheap display off Craigslist or your local flea market. It's way cheaper than dropping $1,000 on an ultra-wide. OXNYX053 says, I can hear you. See all the people I am following that are on Twitch, about 1 inch of your stream, and your chat bar.
Cool, man. I do have another monitor that I could hook up. I do have my computer hooked up to my TV, you know, if I want to watch stuff on TV from it. Because I can't do the Roku stream, and for some reason, you have to be on a wireless network for that.
OXNYX053 says, and any GPU worth $150 or more is set up for Crossfire at the least.
I've never thought about doing that though. 'Cause I know you can like link GPUs. You know, they used to actually have a cable you could connect to that to have them like work off each other. But unless that's not what we're talking about, I don't know what we're talking about. I mean, I've been out of the game for a long time, so I'm kind of lost.
Arcanoloth says, multi-GPU for gaming is dead.
Oh, they don't do that anymore? I know I can go into like 3ds Max and have it where it'll use the GPU to render versus using the CPU to render on there. So it frees up the CPU.
OXNYX053 says, 1 to game, 1 to stream.
1 to rule them all.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then, he says. Got a new command. Bye-bye. It's bye-bye. B-U-B-Y-E. Bye-bye.
OXNYX053 says, that's your CPU.
Error.
Surreal_claps says, do the rules of acquisition work still?
Yes, R-O-A. R-O-A.
Arcanoloth says, Nvidia was the one really putting money behind SLI, and after a decade of yelling at game devs about it, they realized less than 2% of the market owned multiple cards, so there was no point in game devs spending their precious hours optimizing for something nobody uses. Nvidia gave up.
What about those like massive video cards, you know?
Arcanoloth says,
Rule
AMD
62.
only ever had Crossfire
The riskier
because they
the
didn't
run,
want Nvidia to
the
have something they
greater
didn't
the
have,
profit.
but they dropped it soon after.
Don't get caught up in the crossfire. Crossfire. Yeah, I like the rule of acquisition is like an 8-ball thing. Where you ask it a question, and it you do the rules of acquisition, and whatever it tells you is like the advice you give you. But I went a little nuts yesterday. This past morning and stayed up a little too long. I went to looking up a Scottish accent text-to-speech voice because Sammy Wraith was talking about that, and I ended up going to like the Microsoft site where a bunch of text-to-speech stuff is at, and just playing with the text-to-speech on there.
The problem with those setups is economics. If you own a low-end or mid-range card, your money is better spent upgrading to a high-end card instead of buying another mid-range card that'll only give you a small improvement in a handful of games.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to begin with like a card.
Arcanoloth says, so that limits the audience to the people that can drop cash on more than one high-end card, which isn't most of the market.
I mean, like, you know, what is a bit too much for one these days?
Surreal_claps says, rules of acquisition, can I sell my wife for a nice couch? ROA.
I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. ROA, tell me what I can do.
And I got nipples. They just fit.
Three Stooges being nasty. I can't remember what I paid for the card I have, but it's just a regular Nvidia.
And high-end cards cost thousands of dollars now because you don't just have to play games on them. They are useful for actual big boy day jobs in data science, so demand is high.
Yeah. If I had got another card, I'd definitely go Nvidia because I've always gone Nvidia. I did have AMD at one point, but that was way long time ago.
Surreal_claps says, time to sell my wife.
Time to sell your wife. You heard it first. Rules of acquisition says so. She'd be like, why am I on here on eBay? Well, rules of acquisition said to put you on there. Whose rules of acquisition?
Says, then she swoops in, kills the queen, crashes the markets, then fucks off. My new favorite summary of Truss's 2-month tenure as PM. Arcanoloth says, as the guys at Logical Increments love to say, any part can be good at the right price. And any part can be bad at the wrong price.
It's like, you know, my whole idea of building a new computer eventually. I want to do it before the year's over with, so... Or do I? I don't know
says,
anymore.
their suggestions are valid at the prices they list, but if you can find a better deal, go for that. Surreal_claps says, same thing with human meat.
If you want the meat, you have to pay for it. Let's see, we're down a person, so I'm just gonna go with Carl.
Lieutenant Dan was always getting these funny feelings about a rock or a trail or the road, so he'd tell us to get down, shut up.
Miners, but since they've changed formats, the price has been kept high by stubbornness from the manufacturers. Arcanoloth says, ha, I was in a Discord server with some UK Crown subjects and they were miming about I have more hours in Steam games than Truss was PM and Parliamentary Democracy speedrun any percent. Surreal_claps says, LMFAO.
Something to brag about. Give me something to brag about.
Arcanoloth says, Bitcoin hasn't been mined on consumer hardware for over a decade, so right there I know you have no idea what you are talking about, FYI. Pale Chimera says, dang it Bobby.
Dang it Bobby. Damn it boy. Okay Carl, come on, we got this.
Pale Chimera says, that boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right. And if they come out with
Surreal_claps says, just hacked up a massive amount of phlegm.
Cool, put it in a jar. Name it Alf.
Pale Chimera says, EO. Arcanoloth says, Ethereum was mined on graphics cards, and when that swapped to proof of stake recently, the market for those cards crashed because none of the other altcoins have a fraction of the market cap, so they unloaded on eBay.
And then shit. Right when I'm in the middle of capturing, somebody's got to make the damn thing work. Fuck it.
OXNYX053 says, but you just called me out implying the entire market making card $3,000 due to miners and staying there now that GPUs isn't a thing? Good to know.
Dun, 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 dun.
Arcanoloth says, Scorp, can we start a no-facecam Twitch streamer team? Our motto can be ain't nobody wants to see those cumsocks. Surreal_claps says, I'm looking at the pile of phlegm I just hacked up onto the porch floorboards, wondering if I should piss near it to give it character.
That's right. Go find a dog and have it take a shit and put that shit there as well. Shit flimpless. Shit flimpiss. Shit flimpless.
Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 keep posting, it's entertaining. Surreal_claps says, I'll eat the dog then take a shit myself, it'll be bigger. OXNYX053 says, give it a hat and a pipe, and call it Uncle Snotty.
And a button nose.
Surreal_claps says, LUL.
and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty.
Pale Chimera
the
says,
snowman.
Lucifer our Lord.
Let's see.
OXNYX053 says, lots of love.
We're gonna wake you up. Gonna wake somebody up here. Never gonna give, never gonna give you.
All 3 silos are under Allied control.
Oh shit.
Excellent work.
Wake up Carl.
Surreal
then.
_ claps says, giving $20 to the first person who sticks their toes in the phlegm.
Troops inbound.
For real, yo. Okay, back to the park. And change over. There we are. You're the strangest to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. Bioengineered. Goes down so far, no, so fast here, versus the one that just travels around. Exact same thing, gotta be. Gotta be strong, gotta be wise, gotta be fatter. Nice. Okay, there. I know for sure this one's not going to get captured. Or the Rex is not going to pop out of this one, cause reasons.
Pale Chimera says, Surreal clapped himself, now he can no longer clap due to being in purgatory.
Clap, 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 clap. Did you clap your third hand with your first hand or your second hand? Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the text-to-speech search for Scottish accent.
Someone in a Discord server I'm in is talking about their son, saying he came up with the idea to open a store where people can rent DVDs. He told him about Blockbuster and his son is mad they went out of business. Just Call Makover says, let the man finish his story before I go insane.
The man.
Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably gonna find out as you go out there
Loth says,
that you're not going to amount to jack squat!
Damn it, Loomis.
Surreal _ claps says, story.
Stray, story.
Arcanoloth says, need a command to mute TDS for a period, maybe channel PTS?
Channel PTSD.
Pale Chimera says, clap.
Well, muting it would be like...
Surreal _ claps says, LUL.
It'd be like a mean type thing. Kind of rude, you know, to mute somebody, because it's there to talk.
Says, we.
Okay, how many times are gonna have to shoot these guys here? I shoot and then some more show up. I shoot and some more show up.
Says, yeah, muting it would be serious, so you don't want people spamming it. Has to have a big cost.
$1 million.
Says, or maybe call a vote.
A vote? So, anyway, I went off looking for a Scottish accent.
Pale Chimera says, spam.
A Scottish accent, text-to-speech voice. Could not find one, but on the Microsoft website, I found a thing to play with some text-to-speech stuff. And I spent maybe like a good solid 30 minutes typing shit out and laughing my ass off. And anything that I typed out, I recorded in that voice. And I put it on Discord. Yeah, when I'm bored. What I do when I'm bored, kind of like a channel there. If anybody wants to listen to those, you can. Because they're all there. Live and in Kelly.
Surreal_claps says, that sounds fun.
Yes. The different voices and stuff you can do on there. Ingrid from Germany.
Chimera says, I need naked cuddles.
Everyone knows it's cuddles. Oh, goodness gracious. There's like voices from all over the place too.
Arcanoloth says, reminds me of that YTVID where people discovered that Moonbase Alpha had TDS enabled by default in servers, so people had fun with that. OHN Madden John AEIOU AEIOU.
Kazoon hyped. Fight!
Surreal_claps says, LMFAO, that was great, I forgot about that.
People had fun with the Moonbase Alpha. Was that like a game or something?
Arcanoloth says, Moonbase Alpha is a realistic simulation of a natural satellite.
Oh. Well, Discord's got text-to-speech.
Pale Chimera says, I haven't had my drugs in 2 days. Smiley face.
What kind of drugs? What kind of medications do you take, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't want to say, that's okay. I'll tell everybody what I take.
Arcanoloth says, yes Corp, it was a free game on Steam by NASA, you could walk around on the moon, but it had TDS enabled so people joined servers just to spam. Pale Chimera says, depression meds.
Ooh, I haven't had some of those in a while. I'm depressed 24 hours a day. I take sertraline, which is a generic form of Zoloft, every single day for the rest of my life. That and metoprolol for blood pressure. What is the other one? Atorvastatin.
Just says, AEIOU 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 99,999. I am laughing for real right now. Surreal_claps says, my friends made Moonbase Alpha a learning experience, but not for science but for learning. Me and my friends cannot accomplish anything together as we aim to hinder each other's actions constantly no matter what. Can't play the forest either. Arcanoloth says, oh, is it that hour? I'm on mirtazapine, and this honky-tonk IPA brewed locally.
Welcome to another episode of List Your Meds. Laughing for reals, Joe? Come on.
Surreal_claps says, hated mirtazapine.
Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam.
Surreal_claps says, love IPAs though.
I piss all over. Oliver? Ah, damn it. Okay. Did I do that? Nope, I did not. I did not. Let's see. Gary.
Arcanoloth says, yeah, I was having panic attacks last year, so I needed a sit down and chill TF out pill. Planning to taper off eventually.
But here's one of them that I have inside that channel. And it doesn't matter. When I get bored, I will play the tech support one. Here goes.
Thank you for calling Microsoft support. I am John from Chicago. How may you help me today? Sir, is it morning or night where you are in America? I was born and raised here in South Chicago near a dairy farm. We milk the cows every morning afternoon.
Arcanoloth says, no negative sides. Some people report weight gain, but I'm 6 foot tall and weighed 150 pounds when I started, so kinda the ideal candidate. Surreal_claps says, true, that'll do fine then, as you already know OFC. It made me zombified and almost emotionless. Pale Chimera says, imagine encountering a pink pig on the street in the dead night and it stops, looks at you and goes, quack motherfucker.
Quack motherfucker, quack. Samuel L. Jackson the duck. The roof is on fire. Ugh.
OXNYX053 says, more like Samuel L. Quackson.
Samuel L. Quackson. That's pretty awesome. Samuel Quackson, son.
Surreal_claps says, Shifty 55 Mad Goose.
Mad Goose.
Arcanoloth says, yeah dude, I'm only talking a half tablet a day. Always been concerned about habituation with drugs. Although I did my reading on mirtazapine, it's one of the few that's been tested long-term and doesn't have the long-term sides of other sleeping pills.
Sleep is awesome.
You're goddamn right.
Ha ha ha! Yeah.
Arcanoloth says, Walta, put your dick away, Walta.
Walta.
Pale Chimera
Walta,
says,
put your dick
I
away,
once
Walta.
found $100 in the gutter.
Nice. Was it all like nasty and shit?
Pale Chimera says, no.
Oh, okay, well. Being in the gutter? Hey, got water on it.
Surreal_claps says, that's why I decided to try that medicine due to its long-term in comparison benefits vs other medicines. Ultimately stopped laughing and getting pissed off. Stopped doing a lot of things for months without care. Became a husk.
Ooh.
Pale Chimera says, I kept it for myself.
That is a good analogy, a husk. Like a reflection of who you are, but not who you used to be.
When I first saw Breaking Bad, I didn't understand why Mike had to die. Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. Mike had to die because he was old or something. Because Walter.
Anybody?
Anybody. He's old as fuck.
Arcanoloth says, at surreal_claps yet, pills are great for short-term crisis mediation, but as they say, pills don't teach skills. You gotta learn the skills you need to live your life. Surreal_claps says, I feel like a husk still, but differently somehow.
Like a mirage of who you used to be. Like floating through the world and unable to like grasp for that full breath of air. I find that I just randomly laugh every once in a while, like an insane person. Especially when circumstances seem like they don't make sense, or they, you know, or things get overwhelming. Just start busting out laughing. Tears come out of my eyes.
Arcanoloth says, at surreal_claps I was seeking treatment through the VA, and was advised that was they could do for me was limited as long as I had no disability rating, and they could not encourage or discourage me from seeking a rating. I decided not to pursue that route.
The route of all evil. The route. Route. Meet George Jetson. His son squared and spawn.
Arcanoloth says, at surreal_claps nothing against anyone that does go that route. I've just decided I'm going to put my mental effort into school and see if I can get a good job. Then I don't need to ask Mother May I for anything. Surreal_claps says, I just don't really give a shit about myself. I care a lot for everyone else and aim to make them happy by all means, but when it comes to me I genuinely don't care at all, and when asked why I never have a better answer besides I don't like being me inside this meat suit.
Dude, I got the same feeling. I don't like being me. That's the same thing. Look in the mirror and you like see a worthless piece of shit. That's what I do. Why I look at him like, why do you even exist, you poor excuse for a meat sack of shit? And then I laugh. And we all laugh in our head. At least that's what I do for myself. I mean, hell.
Arcanoloth says, at surreal_claps I hear ye. I used to give a lot to others, or at least I thought I did. Someone said it's no good setting yourself on fire to keep others warm, and that's when I realized I was using others to distract from what Scorp is talking about. Surreal_claps says, if not for a few awesome lovely souls I wouldn't bother to be here anymore because I very well don't value my presence and don't understand why anyone else would, but that's me.
See, that's the thing. I couldn't like off myself, even though I hate myself that much. I want to be around to see something happen.
At surreal_claps we can run, we can hide, we can drive ourselves to distraction, but I find things seem much worse when you run from them, but you turn round, punch that bully in the face one good time, suddenly they aren't so scary anymore.
That's right. Anybody else gonna try to kick God's ass when they die? Calm down, get a hold of yourself. Be all like, where's God? You dumbass.
Surreal_claps says, it goes beyond all of that. Arcanoloth says, I cannot tell anyone else why they are here, for the same reason I cannot taste an apple for you. You have to do that work yourself.
That's right. Remember when I went to work one day and they were like, hey, we're gonna need you to come in tomorrow, is that okay? And I was gonna be off, and I was like, I picked up the stapler, opened it up, and stapled my arm. Just threw a staple in there with the stapler. And they were like, oh my god! And I was like, what? It's just flesh.
Says, I can tell you why I am here. It's to be a good example to my nephews. Yeah, uncle is fun to hang out with, but he is kind of a loser. This is the timeline I am trying to avoid. Surreal_claps says, it's crazy how every time I mention this at least one person assumes I'm looking for handouts or easy answers. Just need one stupid ass moment to get shit off my mind without having someone burrowing in to try to tell me how to live. Surreal_claps says, sorry I bothered shit. Arcanoloth says, if it was easy, we wouldn't be looking for an answer.
An answer. There are no answers, only more questions. 42. 42. That's what it is. It's 42. Hitchhiker's Guide. Damn it. All I needed was a little bit more of these damn... I have 9? How do I only have 9? Madre de Dios.
Arcanoloth says, I can say that humans have pondered these questions since the start of recorded history. If you like movies, go and watch The Seventh Seal.
Seventh Seal.
Arcanoloth says, nice.
Seventh Seal. Is that like supposed to be bad or something? Or is it like SEAL Team Charlie type shit? Is it demonic? My mom's been telling me about my sister's step daughter, I guess, something, whoever she is. About her having like watching dark stuff or whatever, and horror movies and all this kind of thing.
Arcanoloth says, Scorp, if you have ever seen a show or movie doing the playing chess with death bit, that's spoofing the Seventh Seal. Arcanoloth says, classic film.
How much of a classic? Are we talking black and white? Technicolor? But they were like talking about...
Arcanoloth says, black and white yet.
Black and white, red and green. The funkiest thing you ever seen. Wanna tell you what I mean. Damn,
Arcanoloth says,
fuck?
1957 Swedish historical fantasy.
So is it like in a different language or something? In English? I watched a Swedish movie one time, didn't understand a damn thing they said. I think it was the Dragon Tattoo.
Arcanoloth says, during the Black Death in Europe, we observe peasants go about their lives.
I'm not dead. I feel happy. Herb. Park.
Arcanoloth says, meanwhile, a knight back from the Crusades plays chess with a man who is curiously silent.
Curious. Fascinating. Pure energy, pure thought, totally in a plural. Not life as we know it at all.
Arcanoloth says, the knight is full of questions he hoped would be answered by religion, by combat, but no one has the answers he seeks.
And then...
Arcanoloth says, his opponent ignores his questions, only gesturing at the board as if to say, your move.
Your move.
The Bob Fortress has engaged transporters. Troops inbound.
It's like really dark, mysterious. Why? Ball lightning, why? Why? I have to say, why? The only thing here, at this time, would be Voth. 1 or 2 Voth at a time. Why ball lightning? Why?
Arcanoloth says, as the game winds down, the knight becomes increasingly agitated. Why are we playing this game? What does it all mean?
You play a
Arcanoloth says, the opponent only points at the board. Your move.
Your move, Jedi. Your move, dunce. You little bastard. Happy birthday to you. So, like, it's not like breaking a seal or letting demons out or some shit. The seventh
Arcanoloth says, the knight realizes when the game ends, his time is up, and plays for time, but his moves are increasingly constrained.
So, like, what does he do? Like, he loses and dies or something? Oh, come on, I can get more. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Arcanoloth says, the film switches back and forth between the knight's chess game and the side stories of commoners living their lives in the Middle Ages.
It's like walking down the street and that's all they're doing in the movie? Or like they're planting like seeds and shit and walking through the streets and things and going to the stores and people dying in the streets or something? Throughout humanity, once every so many
Arcanoloth
years.
says, people try various ways to escape death, but death only says no one escapes me.
That's right. It's one of the things we can all count on happening. There's that damn sword I thought I knew. Bound to character. No reason. Why is it bound to character when you claim that shit? Okay, change character. Boom, 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 boom.
Just Call McCower says, unless you are a Winchester.
Unless you are a Winchester.
OXNYX053 says, which sword?
It's the Emperor's one? No, wait. Is it Emperor?
Arcanoloth says, the film is considered a landmark of Swedish cinema, captures the medieval thought on life.
You gotta wonder what the next crisis is gonna be. Yeah, this one here, the Emperor's Sword. I opened it because of one of those code things or whatever, and I thought, okay, whatever, it'll be there unless I use it. Maybe I can give it to one of my characters. No, it became her sword. So yeah, I was gonna think about like keeping it, like in case I ever had like a Terran I made, you know, he'll have like the thing or something, but nope. It automatically bound to that character whenever I
OXNYX053 says,
yeah.
Oops.
Oops. You know what's depressing? My stream, the evidence that we keep coming back to life over and over and over again. Like, you know, you live your life, you do your thing, whatever like that,
says,
you die.
Oh yeah, that bugs me when stuff is store redeem and is born bind to character. People have posted on social media that they like to collect stuff on MMO accounts and shit like that made them uninstall.
Hell yeah, that would make me uninstall for sure. Well, I don't know. I'm stupid, so I'd probably keep it. But but like if say whenever you pass away,
Arcanoloth
you just
says,
come back.
MMOs are kind of a metaphor for life there. We live, we die, we'll be again. OXNYX053 says, depressing, like a heavy person sitting in your lap.
Laying on a bed too long and pushing the mattress down to fit your size. Depressing. But, like...
Arcanoloth says...
Say you know, you pass on. You wingle around wherever spirits or energy or whatever the fuck you want to call it is. And then you're like, okay, let's get born again and go through that same shit over again and learn a lesson. Well, you do it again. You come back. You learn some shit. Whatever. You pass on. The only problem is you go away, but your other self, who's in charge of all that shit, learns. Keeps it in their head. You were nothing to them. You were just this consciousness that they co-inhabited or created as a personality to suit the needs that needed to happen during that time spent alive. So whenever you go again, that slate gets blanked. Spirit's like, okay, let's do this again. This time I want to do this or that. Hopefully I learn this or whatever. Whatever. Just continues on and on and on. Wouldn't that be depressing? If that were always happening, like to know that you're kind of just being used by yourself in a way. You know.
OXNYX053 says, I am a heavy person, like 250 pounds and under 6 feet. So I speak from experience in depressing people.
Ouchie.
Arcanoloth says, that's an interesting thought experiment. What if everyone I meet during the day is not conscious, but an automaton created as part of a simulation for my benefit? The term is philosophical zombie.
Philosophical zombie? But what if we're all doing that, and like the life flashing before our eyes is what's happening right now? Like to us, this is happening now, but it's actually life. And the whole like, whenever you pass away thing, the reason your life flashes is because it's just getting purged from your soul's memory type situation of shit that it doesn't want to remember. You know, just speaking metaphorically about all this. You know, it's like, oh, I like these details. I learned this. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know the history of whoever I was. So that gets purged and just deleted from the memory of, you know, the soul. Then the soul's like, oh, let's be this.
Arcanoloth says, Rick and Morty played this for a gag, where Rick realized they were in a simulation trying to steal his passwords and he started timing attacking the sim by doing lots of flash mob stuff to slow down the CPU until it crashed.
Boom!
Jerry didn't notice the NPCs glitching out. He thought they were fascinated by his conversation. Classic Jerry.
But what if, like, say, whenever you pass and you come back, but you retain a little bit of what you were at one point, and like memory flashes and or recognizing areas type thing, remembering details of things you're not supposed to know or you shouldn't be able to know, and like a past life type scenario, you know, or as Shatner would say, scenario. Wouldn't it be fascinating to figure out if that was like a real thing, but also at the same time a kind of depressing thing? Or what if like the soul, spirit, whatever, energy, mass that you can be, because energy's always going to be there. What if it retains this, keeps it in its subconscious mind, and it could kind of leak forward in a way to be a dominant personality again? And what if these like multiple personalities aren't because of like some sort of head thing, but they're actually an energy that still exists as a thought, you know, inside of an entity that we call the soul?
OXNYX053 says, Avatar. Hasn't science mostly proven we're in a simulation?
Yes! Yes, it has. The double slit experiment is like part of that, I believe. Rendering factor. But yes,
Arcanoloth says, I know some relatives became obsessed with the idea of repressed memories back in the 90s. The entire field of psych went down this rabbit hole. It was recently debunked. The head of the APA said it was the biggest blunder in the history of the field.
Well, I like to think that, what if like when people automatically are able to do things, like say they never played a piano before, but then they have some sort of an accident and something unlocks in their brain, and then they have the ability to just do it because they have a faint feeling they've done it before.
OXNYX053 says, so I chose to believe we're all anthropomorphic people thinking we're in skin suits.
Yes. Or what if this would be a thing, right? Say like when you pass or something, you kind of like wake up and they take this helmet thing off and say, okay, how's your experience on a rating from 1 to 10? And you're like, what? And they said, hold on, let them get time to acclimate back to normal reality or whatever. And it's like this whole time, you are in a simulation that your other real self chose to be in, like paid money for or something like that, to live a life or whatever. And you go back because you're the life is over. So you're like, okay, do you want to like do it again? I'm like, well, how much would it be this time? Kind of. What kind of parameters would you like to have? Do you want a shared reality with these people, or whatever? Like going as a group. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like like that 13th floor movie or whatever. It was out that one time. I don't know. There's all these little talks about people like that die and they come back, and they're like what they saw.
Loth says, I'm thinking of Rick and Morty again.
Uh-oh.
There is an arcade game that revolves around that accelerated time, life in a day premise. They try to get the high score.
There was a Doctor Who episode about that actually with Capaldi, I believe, where that doctor was actually in a simulation ran by, I can't remember, maybe it was the Sontarans or something, and to see like the best action they could take, and then that doctor sent an email to the real doctor warning him of the threat that was going to be happening. I thought that was pretty interesting of an idea. I like this show Upload, where their consciousness gets uploaded when they die, and they live in this virtual reality world that can be accessed by people who are still alive as well, so they can continue to talk to their loved one. That's a pretty interesting show. It's got the Smoking Man or the Cancer Man from X-Files in it too. But okay, there was a story of a guy that he passed away, but he came back, and whenever he passed away, he's
Arcano Loth says, yet, given that I know I'm in a sim, how do I escape? There is an entire field of CS and IT security researching this.
Yeah, what was it, the one scientist that found computer code and string theory or some shit years ago? I can't remember who that was. But anyway, the guy had died, and he claims he went to this place, not like a heaven or anything that's always talked about, but this place where other beings can be felt around, and one of them is in front of them and saying, what are you doing here? It's not your time yet. You've still got things to learn. And it wasn't like a god or this or whatever. It was like a collective consciousness.
Arcano Loth says,
something.
Cloud Ops providers spent a bunch of money on servers with multiple cores, and they are in the habit of provisioning those cores to separate VMS ran by different customers, so it's vitally important that we guarantee at a hardware level that I can't look outside my VM at what others are doing, or people won't pay as much for that service. OXNYX053 says, well, based upon STO, sleep next to a slanted window and have very vivid dream?
Yeah. What if during our dream time we actually wake up?
When it turned out the last 20 years of CPU optimizations that Intel did made it possible to conduct timing attacks to break out of VMS, people were big mad.
Big mad? There's that guy Anton that he's he's got some sort of accent. I don't know where he's from. I forget. But he has a bunch of science and videos and stuff on YouTube, where it's mostly astronomical type stuff, universe things, and they scientists and NASA and everything got proven wrong about what the solar system or something looks like. Instead of it being like the the way that ours is supposed to be. It's like this blob. It was like a stomach.
Okay, I got 2 things to say to you guys. Nothing below the belt, and don't keep your hand to yourself, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. But it looked like a stomach or some shit like that. It was really weird. And then you know, they have those ideas of parallel worlds and stuff that, like, you when you dream, this was also like kind of in Doctor Strange. If you haven't watched the latest Doctor Strange movie, I'm sorry, but I'm about to spoil some shit. But in there, which is the same kind of, I don't know if it was first there or whatever, but I do recall years ago that it was suggested that if parallel universes existed, what if when we dream of stuff, we're actually experiencing that.
I think we are outside the spoiler period.
Yeah, I hope so. But what if we, like, the dreams that we have, some of those can be like what's happening in the other world, like pieces of memories from that get added to our own.
Like, a week after, too early. Darth Vader is Luke's father? Shoulda watched it, buddy.
Right. No, I am your father. Damn it, Dad. Nicolas Cage is Luke Skywalker. No. But in Doctor Strange, that is like a thing. Like, you know, whenever the Scarlet Witch is asleep or whatever, she always dreams of this life with her kids, and it turns out it's like a parallel universe that where she does have these kids, and that's what, like, prompts her to want to have that world and that reality or whatever. But I want to say that I'd heard about that kind of, like, people thinking that before.
Says, I'd watch Nick Cage yelling at Vader, have you ever used the Force until you pissed blood?
Pissed blood. Leaving Las Vegas? Leaving Las Vegas.
Says, I am a Jedi, I am a Jedi, I am a Jedi, as he runs down the street.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, and that's not like his real name anyway. Cage. Johnny Cage. Live the life. No, dream the life, live the dream. Good words to live by.
Arcanoloth says, he is a Coppola, changed his name because people teased him about being a Coppola.
Francis something Coppola? Wasn't that like a producer, movie creator guy or some shit? Francis Ford Coppola? Or whatever? Oh, great and honorable Oz. Please answer the question that has been befalled you from Dorothy.
Arcanoloth says, Francis Ford is his uncle, yet he had a bit part in The Godfather.
Really? So it's like, was he pressured into being an actor, or did he just, like, was around the business and thought, let me give this a shot?
Arcanoloth says, you can see where he didn't want people thinking he was using the family name.
Family business. It's like Michael Keaton. He didn't want to use his own name because it's Douglas.
Arcanoloth says, he wanted to act, just didn't want people to think he was writing on the name.
Which is case in point for why, like in Multiplicity, Doug was used as a character name. Multiplicity's so damn funny. I love that movie. I love that movie. Cool right now.
Bye-bye.
I was looking up something the other day about like just some sort of movie shit. I can't remember why. Think about the remakes. What were we talking about? Like remakes one day. They were talking about like remaking National Treasure, the movie. Why the hell would anybody want to do that? Yeah, they could totally go back and fix that texture there. Fuck. Fire truck. So tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow is Doctor Who Day. Anyone excited that we finally get to say goodbye to Dr. Karen, as it's referred to from Neurotic Guy or whatever? Nerderotic? Nerdrotic.com guy. Get to see the show be handed back off to Russell T. Davies. Doctor what? Doctor, huh? Doctor, why? Doctor.
Arcanoloth says, I way behind on Who. Stopped watching sometime during the 10th run.
Oh wow, so during Tenet.
Arcanoloth says, was good, just stopped watching.
Stopped watching? I was, what was it? They didn't have it was not the Drunk Tank podcast or the Rooster Teeth one or whatever, but it was something an offset of one of those, where one of the people that were there talked to Bernie Burns and was like, hey.
Arcanoloth says, Tennant has done a lot of BBC stuff. Family was watching him in that Around the World in 80 Days show.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Why do I have to come back over here? I thought I'd captured this one. The fuck was I saying? My mind went blank. Oh yeah. So this one dude that worked at Rooster Teeth went to Bernie Burns and was like, hey, maybe we can have like a podcast or something for Doctor Who. And Bernie was like, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. So the dude did. And he said that his favorite Doctor was Matt Smith or whatever. And the other ones like sucked or something. And they asked the question of like, have you ever like watched the other Doctors? And he said, no. And I'm like, how could somebody base the answer of like saying this is the best actor to portray this person if they've never seen the other actors
Arcanoloth says,
performing that?
Haha, oh wow.
Yeah. So he was like saying all that, and the like scrutiny he got in the comments under all of that was like, wow, because he even said that he had never watched any of the other stuff.
So were they trolling, or are they really just that dense?
They were right on it. I mean, he was a Doctor Who fan because he watched Matt Smith's Doctor. He watched maybe 1 or so episodes of Tennant's Doctor, and was like, no, Matt Smith's Doctor is the best one out of all the Doctors. And then they kept asking the questions like, has he even seen any of the other ones? And his answer was no. So basing
Arcano
that,
says, like, it makes me wonder if these people are pretending to be retarded for clicks, or is that just their whole personality is being contrary.
But it ended up like, yeah, he was serious. That was his favorite Doctor, and he said the other ones were whatever. So they did not make a second episode of that because of the backlash that people kept coming back and everything and harassing him about it or something, telling him that was his opinion and him being the best Doctor, even though he had never seen the rest of them.
They are just dumb. They are 100% comfortable with the idea that they do not need to think about the things they don't like to think about, and when you call them out on it, they double down always.
Yeah. So, like, whenever I started watching Doctor Who with Just Call Me Core, we started watching at the same time, and the Sci-Fi server and talking about it and stuff.
People disagree with my factually wrong statements equals harassment. If you are a snowflake, I guess.
And, we watched, like, Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, and we said, well, this is pretty cool shit. And whenever it said series finale, we freaked out, and that's when this guy that told us that's just what they call it over there, is a series and not a season. So then we watched Tennant, and we were like, oh, wow, he's an awesome Doctor Who,
says, but most of the Twitch staff unironically agree with that statement, so be careful.
Yeah. They have, their opinion is the one that matters. Yeah. But, so we gave the others a shot, even watching old Doctor Who and stuff like that, and basing it off of that.
Yep.
And while Matt Smith's run was a good run, and I did enjoy him as the Doctor, I can understand why people enjoyed Tom Baker as the Doctor, even though he had a very long run as the Doctor before. William Hartnell, started it out, so they were getting it ready, so you can't really say he was a bad one. And Patrick Troughton, I mean, he was the second, so they had to figure out what they were going to do. So you can't say he's a bad Doctor either. All of them had their own unique way of portraying the character.
Says, Baker is iconic yet, maybe the most iconic Doctor.
Yeah, and how the hell he ever walked around with that long scarf is beyond me. I'm not tripping over this shit.
Says, Tennant is the most iconic modern Doctor as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he got it because that was during the same reign like as Russell T. Davies, He had a certain thing that he wanted the Doctor to be, and Tennant delivered. He did awesome job at that. And whenever Russell T. Davies was the showrunner, and then you get down to whenever he had to leave Doctor Who because of reasons and stuff, and Torchwood and all that, and just different showrunners have their unique thing that they want for their Doctor to be like. And Chibnall, or they call him Chinball.
Just Call McCower says, Tennant is a great Doctor, but my favorite is Matt Smith.
Yeah, he had a good reign. I mean, they even brought it over to America. But I would have to agree that out of watching all of them, the current Doctors, from the 2005 and up, Matt Smith is my favorite amongst all of them, with Tennant being second. Just barely like those two, like right in between. But Matt Smith has like that extra 0.5 that I enjoyed. But then again, that's a different showrunner that presented us with different stuff. Not because Matt Smith was like the longest running Doctor in the 2005 series, but but they did have it where David Tennant came back for a little bit.
How long was Smith on for? Just Call McCower says, and Donna Noble is both my favorite and most annoying companion.
Yes, the Dr. Donna. How long was he on there? It's like 4 or 5 years. Because they did like cut,
Just
you know,
Call
in between.
McCower says, Smith was 3 seasons and Spec Isla.
Okay.
Just Call McCower says,
but the
specials.
Seasons were like wonky jawed, right? And the specials and stuff. More episodes, I guess you could say. Or not really the most episodes, but the most history of any Doctor as spent as that Doctor. Because he actually aged or whatever on screen. Like in that one Trenzalore episode. But he stayed with it like one of the longest times.
Just Call McCower says, 2 full seasons with the Pawns, 1 season with half Pawns, half Clara.
I liked Clara. Clara was a good companion. Souffle girl. But Tennant, he like did a good damn job. That's why he's like the edge of like it's between he and Matt Smith. Matt Smith just barely above. But yeah. And Eccleston, he may have been like a good if he'd have stuck around for one like longer than a season. But we won't know, will we? But he brought us Bad Wolf. And then Captain Jack and Torchwood and stuff. I used to like watching Torchwood. And then it went to that whole like vagina in the world thing or whatever.
Arcano Loth says, I understand Eccleston left so as to avoid being typed, but yeah, he was fun. Just Call McCower says, the only reason why Smith beats out Tennant, in my opinion, is because I hated that the Doctor fell for Rose.
Ah. Yeah, he had a thing, and what was it like whenever Martha Jones got on there, he kind of neglected her in a way and took her all to like Rose's locations and shit. But one of him is with Rose, so there you go. You know, that's why they could bring Tennant back, even if like his Doctor is
says,
ended.
I can see that. Like Rose is special, but he is the Doctor. It's kinda weird for him to be into humans in that way.
They need to bring back the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, from the original run. The actress would still be alive today, I think. Or is still alive.
Arcano Loth says, was the other one his species, or a human body? I can't recall.
Are you talking about River Song? From, hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights?
Just Call McCower says, River Song was a human hybrid.
Yeah, she became Time Lord-ish because she was conceived on the TARDIS.
Arcano Loth says, nah, when they cloned Tennant so he could be with Rose in another dimension.
Oh, okay. Dr. Donna. The Dr. Donna thing. Where he was half human or whatever. Because of Donna. His hand became another entity of himself. And he went into the parallel universe to be with Rose. And he would age and everything like that too. He didn't have 2 hearts anymore, I don't think. Just when you think the enemy is gone, here comes the enemy again.
Arcanoloth says, yes, see, that makes sense. Human lifespan could do a lot worse than spending it with Rose. Time Lord, may I have options?
Yeah, that's why I say, like, he could always come back as an older Doctor because he ages at the rate of a human now, or that version, the clone or whatever, or maybe, yeah. I mean, the whole Captain Jack thing about him like looking, like aging when he's not supposed to is supposed to be like he does age, but it's just a fraction, like barely at all. So they made him move backward in time so far to then come back, you know, and live it long or whatever, and re-arrive at the destination. So you could actually see the physical aging on him. I mean, I bought that. That was pretty good thinking there on that. And then he becomes the face of Bo, a huge head floating in space. Which to me still, I can't. I don't know. But and the watch thing, the Time Lord's watch, when it went to the very end of the existence of the universe or whatever, and the last of humankind, and the master was there.
Just says, I don't accept the face of Bo. It's dumb.
You don't. Wasn't it you before that like said that is Captain Jack? And I was like, nah, there's no way. And you're like, yeah, that's it. But you don't. You're like me though. You don't like. I think that's what it is. I don't accept that is Captain Jack. That could be, because how can he just like turn into a huge head?
If I was the writer, I would never touch those old stories because for one, it's not my story, and two, it undermines that ending by undoing that ending and replacing it with something that's probably less interesting. Sometimes the wise thing is to just leave it alone.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Chibnall though that was whenever the who the hell was it? Shit. He wasn't the showrunner, but he was under fuck.
Arcanoloth says, yeah, the face of Bo is dumb, so I'ma pull a Sam Jackson and say I recognize the council's decision, but considering it's a dumbass decision, I've elected to ignore it. Just Call McCower says, Stephen Moffat.
Yes, Stephen Moffat. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name, but I want to say, was it Chibnall's episode with the Weeping Angels? Like he came up with that concept, and that actually took off really well. But him being a showrunner did not, because he was in charge of the shit. He fucked it up.
Just Call McCower says, no, Moffat created that during RTD's run.
Okay, okay.
Arcanoloth says, but that's another they won't touch, cause why would they? They are never having that actor back, so why even bring it up? It has no bearing on whatever story they are telling, so it's a waste of time.
Nah, it would be like a nostalgia type situation, though. But it's just the face of Bo thing. I never could really get into that whole Captain Jack is the face of Bo. I'm thinking, what if they do like cut his head off and his head just floating in space, growing? Last of his kind, so he's the last human, or the last of he's formed tentacles somehow. I mean. Sure, I suppose anything's possible, but I don't know, you know, I never could.
Arcanoloth says, there is a law of storytelling. If you can tell a story without a certain character, scene, or line, then that thing serves no purpose and should be removed.
Then again, whenever the Doctor was
they do not always follow
aged,
this, but it's a good rule to keep in mind.
When the Doctor was advanced age, though, he did shrink, like really, really small. So maybe that could be a thing, I don't know. And sheer willpower and belief in the Doctor made him grow again.
Just Call McCower says, that was it, yes. He was supposed to come back during A Good Man Goes to War, and instead of that one character getting his head cut off by the Silence, it was supposed to be Captain Jack.
Oh, so we're going to tie it in then with the head getting cut off.
Arcanoloth says, Disney breaks this rule all the time to do fan service. and that's fine, but when you have too much fan service and not enough time for the actual plot you are supposedly telling, you get shit sandwiches like The Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
keep that in mind.
In Doctor Who, they keep like killing off the same villains, and they keep coming back all the time, no matter what.
Says, and they couldn't get Barrowman back for it because he was working on Arrow.
Arrow. Boom! Look at the physics on that. Love it. I mean, they'll like completely destroy the Daleks and remove them from existence, then all of a sudden, bam! There they are again. You know, Cyberman. They come in from a different reality. Yeah. So they're always like bringing something back anyway. Some sort of a thing about stories. The Doctor creating the Daleks way back in the day. You know, helping them out or whatever. You know. I don't know. They've Doctor Who's actually kind of retconned itself in a way, and lots of things over the years, but just different showrunners and different storytelling, you know, and it's pretty awesome either way. I loved watching
Arcanoloth says, yeah, Doctor Who has a real issue with the same bad guys coming back, and it's rarely interesting, like how many times can we do the Daleks, it's boring. But new ideas are hard. Look at those time lock statues they did with Tennant, those went over so well they did a bunch of those episodes. Just Call Makora says,
Weeping Angels.
I have no faith in tomorrow's episode. I watched the trailer. There is way too much going on for an hour-and-a-half special.
Well, you know how they like to like throw everything together at the very last second in a lot of shows.
The Star Trek writers said that was one of the reasons they didn't want to do the Borg after Best of Both Worlds on TNG. Because of the Dalek effect where the Doctor always beats them and it makes them look dumb.
Yep. Yeah, you know, a lot of shows, and see, like, you know, you would think, okay,
Just Call Makora says,
make it longer.
Also the Daleks have to come back every season because of contractual obligations.
It's like kind of how Michael Myers can't ever die in any of the Halloween movies for real. Because his character will always be in every Halloween movie, no matter what. Even if you destroy his body, he will be back. Because contracts say he will. You just have to find a way to make him come back.
Arcanoloth says, haha, imagine a Dalek saying, Thuriya, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
I'm ready for my close-up. Exterminate!
Just Call Makora says, as much as I fault Chinball for his shitty writing, I liked how he at least kept 90% of the Dalek stuff in specials instead of main seasons.
Yeah, I can agree, yeah. Because if you keep continuously see the same baddies like all the damn time, you're like, ah, shit. You know. Is this the reason this thing needs me for some? Okay. But yeah, whenever a show, like, you know, you're watching a show and it's like the one episode left and you're like, they're going to tie this thing up pretty soon? Because there's like storylines completely open all over the damn place. And then within like the last 5 minutes of this hour special or something, that's when they start to do all the answering and all the, you know, when they could have like put that in the episode a little bit here and there. It's like they're rushing that whole first half to try to like close the door on that little bit of section of it so they can expand on what else was happening. That's what ticks me off. You know, like when, you know, for instance, Smallville, when it was going on, and there was one episode left, everybody was like, okay, this is going to be the Superman episode. Nope. It barely was Smallville. They had like, what was it? Superman was in maybe the last minute and 20 seconds of the show.
Just Paul Makora says, on top of the things featured in the trailer, they still have to close out the Fugitive Doctor story and the Timeless Child stuff. Just way too much going on.
You can probably guarantee whenever the episode starts up, it'll be some sort of a crisis and they're running, and there'll be an answer to something within the first 5 minutes. Like this, something will happen to be fast, and they'll do that whole jump cutting thing between like time zones or whatever, you know, like maybe they'll do the whole like thing they did before with the Ocean's 11 thing or something, or Ocean's 12, where like you'll be doing this and be doing that.
Says,
blah 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 blah.
What I want to know is, who thought Smallville was a good idea? I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about the guy that listened to a 5-min pitch about the town that Superman grew up in, and said, "Someone throw money at this man." Was he high? Must have been high.
It's like, what about if we did a show about Superman when he was a kid and called it Smallville? Like, okay. And then they, the first episode.
Says, do you know how mad I was when they brought back the fob watch just to be like Timeless Child? So mad.
Yeah, that right there was, I don't understand that. Why? And she like throws it into the TARDIS. Like, put this in here where I never can find it. Well, if you don't ever want to find it, why the fuck even worry about the shit and put it in your TARDIS? I mean, you're guaranteeing to find it. But anyway. Hello, Sam, your 8th. I got your bye-bye sound. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But yeah, it'll be a rush.
Sam Wraith says, yes.
It'll be a definite rush tomorrow. Guarantee it. The whole thing will seem rushed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. B-U-B-Y-E. Exclamation point in front. Bye-bye. There's like, how many are there? Let me see.
No way am I a loser. Well, you're wrong now, bye-bye.
Samu Wraith says, LOL. Just Call Makor says, WB just got rid of Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman, and needed another Superman show to continue using the license. Even though WB owns Superman, the TV network WB, which eventually became the CW, did not own those rights. They were licensed.
The new adventures of Superman. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved watching Smallville. That was an awesome damn show. Michael Rosenbaum, he should have played Lex Luthor in the damn Man of Steel movie. I swear. I couldn't take not Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck.
Samu Wraith says,
Jesse Eisenberg.
At Just Call Makor they got rid of it. That new Superman show? It was doing well, that's jacked up. Arcano Loth says, okay, so it was one of those boilerplate ashtray deals.
No, the new one is the Adventures it's Superman and Lois is the new one that they have out there. It's still going. He's talking about Lois and Clark, The Adventures, which was like Dean Cain and what's her face?
Arcano Loth says, like all the times that a studio made a cheap Fantastic Four film on less than $1 million budget so the rights don't revert back to Marvel. Samu Wraith says, thought he meant the new one. Just Call Makor says, no, that is another Lois and Clark show. The one I am talking about is the old show before Smallville. Arcano Loth says, I would hope that everyone got wise and stopped writing those dumb contracts.
You know, one thing I liked...
Wraith says, that Dean Cain won well. He did alright as Superman, but not great.
He never had a Fortress of Solitude. He used cold breath in every single episode. He got manhandled by someone who did a karate sidekick. So, yeah. I have my problems with that version of Superman. Dean Cain, he did an okay job. It's just the stories and the
Arcano
stuff
says,
just
Dean Cain's show had the advantage of Terry Hatcher being hot. That was about it.
Yeah.
Just Call Makor says, I loved that show only because the cheesy CGI. Like fast-forwarding footage for his super speed.
Yes. Yeah, they did that for the original Flash back in the 90s.
Says, Terry Hatcher was beautiful, will agree.
Yeah, they did that whole fast-forwarding stuff a lot back in the day to make things go fast. The original Flash. That's how they had him do it. Like, what's his face played? He's he plays in Flash now too, but as Henry, the Flash's dad, and doppelganger and all that kind of crap, whatever. But let's see. Let me switch these over. So they would have like this super fast thing, and he would actually have to pick up the mess in the apartment, and they'd sped it up, That was funny though. But yeah, I couldn't take it, like some of the stories and stuff for that. A little far-fetched.
Grandmaster_Slime says, "What's up?"
Hello there, Grandmaster Slime. What's happening? But what I would love to have seen out of like Smallville, back when it was running,
a
younger Clark.
They're probably going to let that guy go from the TV show for Flash's shame, cause that guy from the movie he's done for good, I think.
You're gonna let the guy go from the TV show? I know Ezra Miller from the movie.
Grandmaster_Slime says, "I'm currently building this Orion blackguard with 3 Orion sexy woman. I am coming for you just like the episode."
I'd like to have seen some more like some flashback things of Smallville, where it's like a younger Clark saving and all that kind of stuff. Like, because I liked it in the Henry Cavill Superman Man of Steel movie, when they had like...
Samu Wraith says, "Ezra Miller you done, but I've heard nothing of the TV show Flash being retained Scorp."
Oh, it's the last season for that. That's official. That it's ending because it's over.
Just Paul McCower says, "Lois losing her memory and falling in love with Lex while in a mental hospital was the worst. And then Clark refusing to get Lois pregnant because he doesn't know how her human body will handle it, and then a baby showing up on their doorstep. Talk about horrible."
Yeah, it had its cheese factor, I'll say that for damn sure.
Streamlabs says, "Hate what you see?"
Yes, I do.
Please consider unfollowing and not renewing a subscription.
But
Volcano Loath says, "Yeah, Reddit was taking bets on if WB would try to replace the current film Flash or try to salvage it. Then they reported he was going to rehab and trying to be a better person, and Reddit said they are salvaging it all. Y'all recasts owe me a Coke."
Well, him rehabbing that, he'll just get out of that anyway. I mean,
Arcano Loath
that's just
says,
for a face look to it.
"Once you've seen this song and dance a few times, you start to recognize the tune."
Yes, you do.
Samu Wraith says, "I didn't see that Just Call McCower the pregnant episode, but him falling in love with Lex that was whacked."
What? Huh? What? Superman and Lex, a true love story.
Samu Wraith says, "Her, I mean."
Yeah.
Samu Wraith says, "Sorry, haha."
It's okay. I knew what you meant. It's just when it came out like that, it's like, what?
Samu Wraith says, "I'm still waking up."
Gotcha.
Just Call McCower says, "I think the pregnant episode was the series finale, and thank God. I did not want to see where that story was going."
Or how about the age episode where someone was sucking the age out of like the young people, and Superman saved Jimmy by allowing some of his
Arcano Loath says, "Oh
years
yes, Scorp, but that's
him.
not the point. The point is someone made a decision, and Ezra being a good or bad person did not factor into the equation. The only thing that matters is how much money they spent on the film and how much they want to make on the box office after they go all in on marketing it, vs cutting their losses and calling it a tax write-off." Arcano Loath says, "They make that decision based on dollars, then Ezra either gets his walking papers, or his orders to pretend to be sorry."
Yeah, because he's officially not, like, he don't give a shit. I wonder if they're going to have the scene from the Flash TV show that they had with Ezra and...
Samu Wraith says, "At Arcano Loath heard PR-wise they aren't happy with him, thought he was done for good, rehab or not."
With Grant Gustin and Ezra and on the Flash TV show screen, and like sharing the screen together. that's supposed to like be a thing.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit, but they will pretend to care for money. Almost like they are actors.
Acting like they give a shit. Actors. Getting paid to give a shit. And to take some of it too. There's
Arcano Loth says, at Samu Wraith I'm sure he is on thin ice. Probably gave him a speech that if he refucks up again he is fired. Costs too much to clean up his messes in the long term, but they will try to salvage this film before firing him. Samu Wraith says, Arcano Loth they care about their image because again money they look good, more money less so less money. Just Call McCower says, I still find it amazing that Johnny Depp got cancelled for being a piece of shit, but Amber Heard ends up being a bigger piece of shit and she gets to keep her Aquaman 2 role. Arcano Loth says, at Samu Wraith long game vs short game yet. WB has been making a lot of short game decision to get this far into the hole. We will see if they learn.
Or how dude that played the stretch guy on Flash got canceled and because of stuff that he had said on Twitter years and years ago, but yet Candice Patton, who plays Iris on the Flash, said some shit and she gets to stay.
Says, at Just Call McCower nobody came out of that trial looking good. Question is, will people buy tickets to Aquaman 2? She's not the lead. Momoa puts the butts in seats. Samu Wraith says, at Just Call McCower thought they're minimizing her role cause how damaging this has been for the company, they want her gone and she will never be DC again.
Maybe she had a contract already.
Arcano Loth says, possible backslash.
Damn it, Malcolm. Alright, well, here we go.
Samu Wraith says, I mean Aquaman has been in editing, the film's done, but they're trying to remove as much of Heard as possible they can.
Really? Is that what you've heard? Was she like one of the main reasons?
Says, LOL Scorp.
Was she like one of the main reasons whenever they were in Australia that whole dog situation happened? That Johnny Depp had to like apologize to the Australian like authorities or some shit for having dogs and they weren't supposed to or something.
Says, that's interesting. Would not be surprised. You can do that in editing with a minor character. Happens all the time.
They're gonna have Handlebar Mike with his big old stash fill in for Amber
Just
Heard.
Call McCower says, there was a lot that happened in Australia.
I miss the rains down and
Just Call McCower says, like her dog stepped on a bee makes ugly face.
Her dog stepped on a bee.
Samu Wraith says, honestly think her career in big movies is over.
How'd she even
Arcano
get a
Loth
career,
says,
right?
For an example in the opposite direction, look at how they expanded Ana de Armas' role in Bond.
James Bond Jr.
Arcano Loth says, haha yeah that BID is still on YT, Depp looking like he's hungover, apologizing for the dog he didn't even know about.
Dear Johnny, dear Johnny. Phase cannons.
Arcanoloth says, they made an example out of both of them, and Hurt is just selling it cause she knows she is singing for Here Supper and Depp looks like he doesn't know where he is. Samuraith says, that's like the chick played Daisy Dukes, she'll never be in movies again, she only got that role for one reason.
And which Dukes of Hazzard? You talking about Jessica Simpson or the other one? Or are you talking about the other one?
Arcanoloth says, ultimately it's his fault for hanging with her, but yeah, he wasn't the one running that shit show. Samuraith says, Simpson.
I don't even think she's like done anything forever. I know her sister hadn't been heard about for a damn long time since that Saturday Night Live situation.
Arcanoloth says, yeah, that's a good question. What's Jessica up to? Arcanoloth says, I have a Jessica Simpson story.
Dun 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 dun. Till the one day when this lady met this fellow. They knew that it was some sort of a hunch. That the Scroop could somehow form a family. That's the way they all became a bunch of drunks. Ass-raping drunks.
Samuraith says, I never understood why he stayed at Arcanoloth, but mental abuse and physical is no joke, so maybe he's more insecure than we know why he stayed so long. Arcanoloth says, I was on my way to boot camp with one other guy. MEPS bought our tickets at the last minute with cash, so we get selected for extra screening by security. OXNYX053 says, till they all did surgery on that bunch.
Till they all did surgery on that bunch.
Arcanoloth says, so we are being searched. When the guy asks where we are going as we tell him basic training for the army, and he says, heck, you should have said that sooner, we didn't know you were army. Arcanoloth says, meanwhile, they shut down the checkpoint and clear out the civilians cause a celeb is going through.
And that celebrity was Jessica Simpson. And that celebrity used to be...
Arcanoloth says, it's Jessica Simpson, with her dog. My friend welcomes her to Nashville and she says, oh, why thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Arcanoloth says, this was 2008.
2008. Boom shakalaka. A dog. You know, her sister Ashley.
Samuraith
that whole
says,
lip syncing thing.
She's made her money and won't work again, probably starting a clothing or makeup line somewhere.
Could be. You never know about these things. And like I said, her sister Ashley kind of shut down after that whole Saturday Night Live lip syncing disaster. You know, one of the things about, like, when people
Arcanoloth
sing,
says, Wiki says she's doing fashion and writing now.
Hey. You know, when you, like, when you're writing your own music, which apparently Ashley Simpson did for some things, and you have to have someone else sing it to
Samuraith
you
says,
to let you know what it should
ridiculous.
sound like.
These ladies make money still, it's crazy.
And that was one of the things, like, you could watch, like, Ashley Simpson was in some sort of a reality thing or something, whatever, like that. And it was showing, like, a behind-the-scenes thing of, like,
says, got remarried, raising kids, that in businesses she's busy.
Like, and there's this other, like, girl sitting next to her reading off these lyrics and actually singing the song.
Just
and
Paul
Ashley's
Nicola
listening.
Says, remember when Matt Camden had sex with Ashley Simpson on 7th Heaven and OMG now he might have AIDS?
7th Heaven.
Samu Wraith says, that was like the Olsen twins, don't hear about them.
Well, one of them is accused of killing Heath Ledger, and the other one, I don't know.
Arcanoloth says, haha. Just Call McCower says, not Matt, Simon.
Simon. You know my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. Destroy Voth's ships, deal anti-proton damage in space.
Arcanoloth says, remember when the father on 7th Heaven touched on all them kids? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Hey, the new Superman used to be on there. 7th Heaven.
Samu Wraith says, LOL.
When you've got no place to go and you need to talk to yourself. 7th Heaven. When people are hitting you and they need to self-inflict themselves.
Samu Wraith says, I remember eating some Pepperidge Farm's food.
Pepperidge Farm remembers, and what Pepperidge Farm remembers, Pepperidge Farm won't forget. So if you tell anyone...
OXNYX053 says, good point. Endeavors.
Good point, Endeavors. I think I'm going to try to do all of them here. Here. I'm going to try to do them all. Here. 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 Overall control, Wasteland Tower. That's back here somewhere, I believe.
Samu Wraith says, the line must be drawn here.
The line must be drawn here. Here. Here.
Arcanoloth says, Voth Space Kills is always an adventure. Samu Wraith says, haha.
Yeah.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Arcanoloth says, 5. I can get in and out easy. 30. I gotta flip the map and get a boss wave before I'm done.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Or where is that sweet spot that Riz showed me? It was way the hell over here.
Samu Wraith says, Bulletin. Bye.
What? Bulletin? Text to speech.
Samu Wraith says, what the hell bot?
Right? BU dot? It may mean something else for some reason. Where do you go when the world don't treat you right? The answer is hey.
Samu Wraith says, BU bye.
Bye-bye. Seventh Heaven. Sean Connery, Seventh Heavens. Shane
Just Call
Connery.
McCower says, at Samu Wraith has been banned for inappropriate links. Samu Wraith says, damn can't get the bot to say it's Scorp.
Bye-bye.
Samu Wraith says, at Just Call McCower rolling _on the _floor laughing. Arcanoloth says, can you imagine Sean Connery's 7th Heaven? Shit on my lap, honey.
Shit on my lap. Be like, cut, we can't say that on live television or whatever. Or on television at all. What? Can't say what? You can't say shit, oh sir. I haven't said shit. I said, could you shit on me, please? Please shit right here.
Says, challenge for you, Just Call McCower, get the bot to say it POB.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Just Call McCower says, brr.
It uses an R sound, why? Shields.
Just Call Makor says, Buah. Scorpwana says, Ba. Samuraith says, how is HAR sound? Just Call Makor says, Boo. Arcanoloth says, I like it when the bot talks about big ol bubies. Scorpwana says, bye.
How does it make an R sound out of that?
Just Call Makor says, bet. OXNYX053 says, booby. Just Call Makor says, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Just Call Makor says, BYH bye.
Bye-bye.
Just Call Makor says, Biha. Samuraith says, Bot you each just say it.
Bye-bye.
Just Call Makor says, boo bye. Scorpwana says, Buah. Samuraith says, LOL. Scorpwana says, bye-bye. Just Call Makor says, bye-bye. Scorpwana says, Bo beauty. Samuraith says, Bot don't make me strap you down with duct tape and slap you around. Just Call Makor says, that was close. Just Call Makor says, bye-bye. Just Call Makor says, how bye. Scorpwana says, ba bye. OXNYX053 says, Viva bye.
Viva bye.
Samuraith says, damn it bot. Just Call Makor says, Viva Rock Vegas.
Viva Rock Vegas. Bedrock, Twitch. The place I know.
Samuraith says, just like Beetlejuice just, say, IT. Scorpwana says, bye-bye.
When you've got nowhere to turn to and you need a new remote control. Seventh heaven.
Arcanoloth says, was watching Beetlejuice earlier with some people.
Beetlegeist.
I am the ghost with the most baby.
Babes.
Samuraith says, what you been teaching this here bot Scorp she don't like to listen lol.
Babes.
Arcanoloth says, I wonder if that get claimed if we put up clips.
Beetlejuice? You never know. Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice or The cartoon. Waves. Ah, damn it. Took the shields off and the shields came back. Damn it. Seventh heaven.
Samuraith says, aren't they making a Beetlejuice too? Arcanoloth says, oh yeah, there was a cartoon. But now we want Michael Keaton. I am the goddamn Batman. Just Call McCower says, Beetlejuice has one of the most kick-ass title themes in all of cinema. https://www.youtube.com/watch B=Osh Arcanoloth says, I love that someone asked Keaton about Christian Bale and what the thought of his Batman. Samuraith says, attention Kmart shoppers, Beetlejuice.
Attention Kmart shoppers.
Arcanoloth says, Keaton said I don't think about him at all cause I'm the goddamn Batman.
Damn it, my shields are doing too good. Yeah, there you go. Eat the shield, eat the shield, eat the shield, eat the shield, eat the shield.
Just Call McCower says, you forgot one of the most important parts of the title theme. Daylight comes and I wanna go.
Oh.
Home. Samuraith says, he's always going to be Batman.
Daylight come and me one go home. Day, me's a day, me's a day, me's a day, me's a day. Oh. Daylight come and me one go home. Daylight come and me one go home.
Arcanoloth says, yup.
Me's a day, oh. Daylight come and me one go home. Day, me's a day, oh. Daylight come and me one go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me one go home.
Arcanoloth says, anyone that has not seen Birdman, it's great.
I like Birdman, yeah.
Samuraith says, at Just Call McCower I remember back in the day I used to get grossed out his hand eating the fly id quai.
Save that guy for later. Let's see,
Arcanoloth says, I think that's a normal reaction to a man eating a fly.
Babs. Come, Mr. Tallywhack my nana.
Samuraith says, it was a big fly too or he was small.
A beautiful bunch of ripe bananas. Remember in the cartoon, Lydia came over to Beetlejuice's house. She says, what are you doing? The camera, or the cartoon, the image you see. There's this little tiny television about maybe 4 inches tall. Beetlejuice is like, watching a little TV. And that has been one of the funniest damn things I'd ever seen at the time.
Arcanoloth says, yeah, it was in a scene where he is in the table diorama and he jumps out of the terrain to grab the fly. Samuraith says, that cartoon just wasn't that great.
Well, it was a cartoon, so it had to appeal to children, you know, versus being too graphic or anything like that. Let's see. Back to this. Take those out. So no shields. I can beam somebody up now. Yay. Stations. Psychic spies from China try to steal your modulation.
Samuraith says, should have had him for more mature folks, it would have done better. Arcanoloth says, yeah, the film walked that line of being somewhat transgressive but still a spooky comedy and not total gore fest.
Bleh. Michael Keaton was supposed to come back for a Beetlejuice sequel movie at one point. I don't know whatever happened with that.
Samu Wraith says, which I liked at Arcanoloth.
Attack me, mister. Beautiful bunch of ripe bananas.
Samu Wraith says, thought they were actually negotiating for a sequel Scorp. Arcanoloth says, the problem with that idea is the animation jail, where American adults simply do not watch animation because it's for kids, so studios only make animation for kids, and the problem continues. Samu Wraith says, attack Mr.
Oh, Arcanoloth, have you watched Lower Decks yet?
Just Call Makover says, can you believe that the Ghostbusters timeline goes Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, animated series, Ghostbusters 2, Casper, Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Casper.
Samu Wraith says, which is too bad Arcanoloth people thinking animation is strictly for kids.
Bullshit. I'd still watch cartoons.
Arcanoloth says, I am behind on Lower Decks.
Bullshit.
Watched up through S3EP8.
Okay. Bullshit.
Arcanoloth says, at Samu Wraith yup, it's too bad. Lots of great stuff out there, for those who broaden their horizons.
Well,
Samu Wraith says, I need to catch up on Lower Decks.
Deck. Lower Deck. Well, that's why they have some more of the adulty type cartoons. I mean, they've got, you know, Harley
Just
Quinn.
Paul McCover says, a lot of people forget that Dan Aykroyd has a very small cameo in Casper as Ray Stans.
And I live
Really?
Says, out of all the streamers' channels I sit in, this has got to be the most boring of them all.
You know, I hadn't
Arcanoloth
even paid
says,
attention to that.
Harley Quinn is hilarious.
Yeah, see, there's adult cartoons versus children's, but hey, back in the day, we had some good. Well, I guess they've kind of toned cartoons a certain way too these days, to where some of them are more toward kids versus what they used to be. You know, like Tom and Jerry and
Samu
the
Wraith
original
says,
run of Bugs Bunny and
Streamlabs
all.
then
of them.
go home, eat popcorn, we'll be fine, haha.
Exits the chat. Can you imagine? Daylight come and they want go. Mr. J. I think I watched the first season of the Harley Quinn one, but I hadn't watched all of it.
Samu Wraith says, Watcha announcement Streamlabs is officially leaving.
Has left the chat.
Samu Wraith says, yep. Just Call Makover says, he is even in fully Ghostbusters gear as well. Jumpsuit, proton gun, and all.
Wait.
Arcanoloth says, animation is just another art form. You can do anything with that. But if you only watch things that have been advertised to you like some of my family, then you will only see the stuff with big marketing budgets. And that stuff cannot take any risks if they want to make money. Just Call Makover says, posted it in Discord for later.
He shows up at the door and like to bust Casper
Just
or
Call
whatever
Makover
and runs
says,
off.
Who you gonna call? Anyone else?
I remember that now,
Samu
yeah.
Wraith says, at Arcanoloth, so very true.
Stop firing on the damn Voth ship, my god. Turn off the auto firing. Immune, dumbass!
Arcanoloth says, saw a toilet ship in orbit of New Rom, named the Throne.
Throne. Dun 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 dun. Last time on Star Trek: The Old Generation. Where do I get one of them triolic is triolic whatever it is thing? I can't remember where you get that at. Where do you make it? Triolic whatever. The pattern enhancing things or something make you to a ghost on here. Fire. It's the end of the world and we know it.
OXNYX053 says, Night of the Comet, unavailable.
It's the end of the world and we know it. And I feel fine. Mission replay. Devlings are using the triolic energy. Okay. If that's the case, I wonder if I have one in my my stuff. God, do some damage or something. Shit. Come on, attack me or something. Alright, fine. I'll go pick a fight here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Stop, look, and listen, baby. That's my philosophy. That's called rubbernecking, baby, and that's alright with me. Wise men shade.
OXNYX053 says, and no, you cannot use it to flip switched in Cat's Tail unless it a switch flipping phase. And then first switch flipped only. Arcanoloth says, haha, that's why I don't do healing endeavors, always ends with me impersonating Tommy Lee Jones in MIB Eat Me. Eat Me. OXNYX053 says, you can also no longer double tap the two next to each other when phased. Just Call Makora says,
man.
Remember when Magic was a Ghostbuster? Also, remember when Magic was a mortician on another Ghostbusters?
That's right. I do remember that. On the Junkbusters, what was it called? Melissa McCarthy. I want to say the other day I accidentally flipped two switches right before it was about to end one. The shit is under attack, mister. Ghost Hunters. Not Ghost Hunters. Go Stunters. S-T-U. Stunt. Go Stunters. Me and Grant and me. No matter whose chili pepper it was, I couldn't pee. Crashes into their bridge. Yeah, pull me in. Go ahead.
Just Call Makora says, unpopular opinion. I didn't hate Ghostbusters 2016. Nowhere as good as the original, but I liked Thor playing Idiot Eye Candy.
That was funny.
Arcanoloth says, remember when Filmation made an animated Ghostbusters series, as sequel to their 1975 series, not to be confused with Columbia Pictures' 1984 film? Ghostbusters?
Columbo. And Dan Aykroyd was in that too.
Yeah, the 2016 film wasn't great, but it wasn't bad enough to get upset about. Forgettable.
And Dan Aykroyd was in that too, as like a taxi driver guy that had so much insight into ghostly stuff. I thought that was neat. Bill Murray was in that too, as the skeptic that got leaped out of the building or whatever.
Arcanoloth says, so then Columbia wanted to make an animated Ghostbusters, but they had to ask permission from Filmation to use the name. Arcanoloth says, they were so mad they called it The Real Ghostbusters.
Slimer was a Ghostbuster. He came, he saw, he kicked his own ass. Got it. Boom, out of the way. Clunkiness of the ship. It's like, I want to go that way. I'll turn that sucker on a dime, boy. Shields up right alert. Okay. Get out of there. I like the Real Ghostbusters show. That was pretty awesome. Ghostbusters!
Just Call McCower says, no, I am sorry. The correct word was naggers.
South Park.
Arcanoloth says.
I went down to the store the other day and saw a huge-ass dildo sitting upright in a chair. I was walking
Just
away
Call
from it and
McCower
accidentally
says,
slipped and sat
people
right on that
who
fucker.
annoy you.
Luckily for me, no one was watching, cause I'd be having myself a cow, you know. Could you imagine, this huge dildo just sticking right out of your bumhole? I sure wouldn't fancy a sight to see that, I tell you what.
Return to ship, Sender. Bank.
Just Call McCower says, I am honestly surprised they got away with that. People get so heated over the use of that word for good reasons.
Yeah, people need to, like, let their pants out every once in a while.
Arcanoloth says,
take a good hard
then
shit.
there was the Extreme Ghostbusters, most notable for its lost episode where Kylie Griffin gets teleported to the Heck dimension and assaulted by demons for say 20 or 30 solid minutes before her friends show up to rescue her.
I don't seem to have that. No, I don't. But let me just check a different character real quick. It's probably bound to character though, isn't it?
OXNYX053 says, Zone Soma?
Zone Soma? Who? What? Where? When? Sledgehammer.
Arcanoloth says, at Just Call McCower, you remember Dave Chappelle's show and its Ask a Black Dude segment with Paul Mooney? Just Call McCower says, Extreme Ghostbusters was so cool. It was extreme because there was a dude in a wheelchair.
It was Sextreme. Existential Ream. Me first. Oh my god. So
OXNYX053 says, oh well, lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Night of the Comet. How long is that one run? Devil using try like a da coming to the worst. Have I not done this one? Look at the experience points off of that.
Arcano Loth says, at Just Call Mooney was asked about the Michael Richards meltdown, and he said what it showed him was that word is on everybody's minds because we use it all the time, so they are all thinking it, and he personally stopped saying it. He said others can do what they want, he isn't saying it anymore. Just Call McCower says, I honestly don't remember much about Chappelle's show. I remember the first episode with the black supremacist, Samuel L. Jackson. The trading episode where athletes were being traded to other countries.
Oh god.
Tom Brady and Rick James.
Oh my god.
Arcano Loth says, some stuff is dated but it holds up really well.
Supremacist. That one there. Oh my gosh.
Just Call McCower says, the blind black supremacist was funny as hell.
Yes, it was. I have to. Chappelle pushed limits, and that was hilarious. You want to see what I look like? Do you want to see what I look like? He pulls off the hood, and that guy sits there, and his head just goes. And the announcer guy was a black white supremacist.
Arcano Loth says, but yeah, they did a segment where they would ask a black dude and Paul Mooney would say cranky old black man stuff, like white people love Wayne Brady cause he makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X.
Rising up, back on my feet. Incoming hell, Captain.
Arcano Loth says, then later they had Wayne Brady on and he took over the show and reenacted Training Day and taunted Chappelle with that line. Just Call McCower says, I said Tom Brady when I meant Wayne Brady. Just Call McCower says, watch too much damn football.
Too much damn football, mister. We're slingshotting around the sun. We just time traveled in Star Trek Online. I woke up with just Sidney calling from my cell, my page, and my home phone at the bottom. Sent 2 letters back and one of them you must not have got them. The problem was a problem with the post office or something. Sometimes I dribble to stop when I jot them. But anyways, fuck it. What up? Well, you know. Girlfriend pregnant too. I'm about to be a father. I have a daughter. Guess what I'm gonna call her? I'm gonna name her Bonnie. Continuous. Welcome to Drazona.
To any ships in range.
To Drazona. What'd you do with a drunken
Just Call
sailor?
McCower says, theorizing that Aegon could defeat the White Walkers. Dr. Sam Beckett stepped in front of a dragon, and got his head bit off.
And was torched. Stepped in front of a dragon. He awoke to find his head reattached to his body. Text-to-speech did a pretty good job of that, actually.
Theorizing that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He awoke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, and driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time.
Arcanoloth says, Captain, the HURQ are attacking my ass.
And so, Dr. Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be
Just
the leap
Call
home.
Makor says, now play the TDS one with the music behind it.
With the music behind it? The text-to-speech one with the music behind it? Which one? The one with the Microsoft Agent? Hocked up on morphine.
Just Call Makor says, shitting is my favorite.
Shitting is your favorite? Let's see. Maybe I should introduce that, like leave them on here as the main thing.
Arcanoloth says, Captain, my ass won't last much longer.
Listen here, you dingleberry.
Arcanoloth says, doing home for DMG endeavors we.
Let's see. Det. Okay.
Quickly figuring out that the tacos gave him the shits, Dr. Sam Beckett searches for a clone. He came to find that the only stall was in use, facing a situation that made him moan, and driven by an unknown force below his stomach. The guy taking too long was Al, a man who had the same meal an hour before Sam was even there. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself waiting in a long line, trying to hold it in before he shits his pants, and remembering next time,
the next time you have a
not to eat at this restaurant.
I want you to imagine the fat old dude at the end of Clerks, saying, hot damn, this is gonna knock the hell out of my hemorrhoids.
We had one complain about the beer not being cold. Let's see.
Just Call Makor says, that one always plays. Every single damn time.
Theorizing that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, and driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Just Call Makor says, I love that music.
You love that music? You want to dance to that music again? Janet Reno's Dance Party 97. Saturday Night Live, Will Ferrell. Maybe it's about time they updated these guys. What do we,
Staying up late, getting drunk the night before, Dr. Sam Beckett suffered with a hangover. He woke woke up in the bathroom near the toilet, facing the mess he had made last night, and driven by an unknown urge to hurl yet again. His only help during this agony was Al, a drinking buddy from his hometown who appeared to have passed out on Sam's couch, having drank many beer. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself drinking day and night, striving to get laid by a whore, and hoping each time that his next beer won't be his last. On morphine, Dr. Sam Beckett broke out of the insane asylum. Unvanished.
Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and did not vanish. He woke up the next day wondering what the fuck went wrong.
He woke up in a
being
straitjacket,
taken away, and driven by an
facing
unknown
hungry
force to
bums
fix
that
his
wanted to
goddamn
be left
machine before
alone and
everyone
looking
gets
for a
fired.
place to stay for the night.
Just Call McCower says, his only help on this journey is
The only problem
a
was
best
Al,
friend for many years,
a rapist from a nearby prison that tried to kill Sam because he was mean and
so
queer.
Dr. Sam Beckett finds himself
And so
inputting new
Dr.
code
Beckett
to update
finds
the system,
himself taking it in the
striving to
rear,
fix this piece of shit,
striving
and
to
hoping
block
that
out
his
once
next
it's
update
done,
will cause his first
and
leap.
hoping that the next time
Arcano Loth says, ha,
won't be
that's a
so
good
painful.
I've already got that, hadn't I? Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. What the fuck? Huh.
Arcano Loth says, need a song called Anal Sex is Painless set to the MASH theme.
Anal sex is painless, brings on many changes.
Realizing that he was late on the rent, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped outside for a smoke and was gunned down.
Arcano Loth says,
he woke up in a hospital,
poppers.
having no memory of what happened, and driven by an unknown force to shit several times a day. The man he owed the rent to is Al, the building's landlord, who would appear with a payment form that he wanted Sam to read and sign. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself broke with no money, striving to get by with what he has, and hoping that next month's rent won't be late like this month.
I love how physical objects can kill a portal. Snotty.
Thanks for the help, friend. By the way.
Just Call McCower says, this is what I miss about old TDS. You could introduce special characters to change the pitch.
That's right.
Arcano Loth says, yeah, fuck that portal.
I love that. You put a tilde like in front and make him go, squelch his voice a little bit.
Arcano Loth says, Captain Emma stick my dick in IT. Arcano Loth says, no Scotty don't.
Well, this porthole here is for something. I can't do it without you, Captain. You're gonna have to hold my hand. Snotty. Snotty, Scotty. I don't want to scan particles.
Arcano Loth says, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Review these tapes.
Arcano Loth says, ITLL bite your dick off.
Right, and review these tapes and try to figure out what's going on here. Cash off. I need you to follow me. Stunny.
Just Call McCower says, talk about the weirdest Matt Damon cameo.
Just as I suspected.
Gotta run back and forth like a mother again. My Drizona. Bar patron. Cassidy.
Do you have a drink?
Cassidy. Damn it. We have to give her like a drink or some shit. Nerve tonic. She needs a nerve tonic. Damn it. I remember this one.
Who do you think you are, nerve tonic?
Son of a bitch. Motherfucker. Mother of God.
What can I get you? A nerve tonic? Almost every culture in the galaxy. Tell you.
Arcanoloth says, yes, she needs to get white girl wasted.
God. Forgot all about this bullshit.
Did you get the Quantum Flux regular? Nerve. I've seen Cassidy order these drinks. Cassidy didn't like the salty taste of the Albion brandy, but she really enjoyed the fact that it was garnished with a drop of honey that floated on the top of the drink. I've seen. The only time I saw Cassidy ordering blood wine was when she was feeling under the weather. Poor lass. She liked that it was served warm. I've seen Cassidy. I've seen Cassie and I've seen martinis on like. I've seen Cassidy order these drinks. Cassidy rid. I've seen Cassie and I've seen Cassidy order. Cassidy rid. I've seen martinis.
Just Call McCower says, I remember when Melissa McCarthy was just a clumsy chef working at a hotel. Now she is a funny lady.
Sookie Stackhouse. No. Not that Sookie, son of a bitch. Nerve tonics. Nerve tonics are for people who have nervous problems.
Just Call McCower says, Sookie St. James.
Sookie St. James, bitch.
What kind of flavor profile are you looking for? How strong do you want this drink to be? How would you like this drink to be served? And last but certainly not, this should be all the info I need.
I have no idea if this is gonna work.
Arcanoloth says, at Just Call McCower, name one film with Melissa McCarthy in it that you've seen.
Do you have a drink for me? Oh, I love warm drink. Ew! This tastes...
What can I get? I'll need some more deep. What kind of flavor profile are you looking for? How strong do you want this drink to be?
Just Call McCower says, Ghostbusters.
How would you like this drink to be served? And last but certainly, this should be all the info I need.
Ghostbusters. Well, there's something strange in your pants at night. Who you gonna call?
Do you have a drink for me? Oh, ew!
Arcanoloth says, okay, fair. I saw that one too, but apparently my brain only remembers the other three.
I'll need some more detail. What kind of flavor profile are you looking for? How strong do you want this drink to be? How would you like this drink to be served? And last but certainly,
Arcanoloth says, but yes, she sure was in that shit.
Cause she was all about that shit. About that shit. All about that shit and about that shit.
Do you have a drink for me? Oh, ew!
Listen here, bitch. I need to give you this nerve tonic. Maybe I should have paid attention to Scotty.
what kind of flavor profile? How strong do you want this drink to be? How would you like
Just Call McCower says, I've also seen The Heat, Bridesmaids, Tammy, Spy, The Boss, and one of the Hangover movies. Just Call McCower says, I think the third one.
Do you have a drink for me?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Do you have a drink for me? Oh, ew!
Bitch! Okay. Wrong way.
Arcanoloth says, I like Kate McKinnon, and her character in Ghostbusters had the most gadgets, so I think Kid Me would like the 2016 film more than the originals cause she had the most gadgets.
I've seen Cassidy order Cassidy didn't like the salty taste of the Albion brandy, but she really enjoyed the fact that it was garnished with a drop of honey that floated on the top of the drink. Bah, I've seen Cassidy. The only time I saw Cassidy ordering blood wine was when she was feeling under the weather. Poor lass. She liked that it was served warm, but she hated those blasted heavy metal mugs that cling. I've seen Cassidy. Soleil brought Cassidy a Dindibian mead a few nights ago. Ugh, terribly sweet stuff. Like drinking. I've seen Cassidy. Or Cassie and I got into a drinking contest with a Klingon one night, and we ended up drinking pyro wine. It's not as good as Scotch, mind you, but it's better than drinking what coolant. I've seen Cassidy. Martinis aren't my cup of tea, as it were, but Cassidy seems to like them. She appreciates that a martini should be served as cold as. I've seen Cassidy. Or Cassidy really likes her Sumerian sunsets, mostly because of the sour taste. She hates that the drink is so weak and has been trying to convince the bartender. I've seen martinis on. I've seen Cassidy. Cassidy really likes the little pick-me-up of a drop of Skagarian whiskey. But she doesn't like the wee shot glasses or the sip. Cassidy didn't like the salty.
Arcanoloth says, oh shit, Michael K. Willie /AMS was in the 2016 film? I'm looking at the cast list and I do not remember these actors.
How would you like this drink? And last but certainly this should be all the
Do you have a drink for Paul? Ew!
What can I get you? I'll need some more detail. What kind of flavor profile? How strong do you want this drink to be? How would you like this drink? And last but certainly not least, this should be all.
Arcanoloth says, anyway, aside from that film, I can't think of anything with Melissa McCarthy in it that I'd willingly choose to watch.
The ball dropping every year.
Drink for me. Oh. Ooh. Do you have a drink for me? Do you have a drink for me?
What can I get you? I'll need some more detail. What kind of flavor profile? How strong do you want this drink to be? How would you like this drink to be served? And last but this should be all.
Where it's seldomly heard a mysterious world, and a bunch of people went stark naked there.
Do you have a drink for Paul?
Arcanoloth says, I'm reminded of a Reddit AMA with Seinfeld where someone asked him if he'd make a film, and he said he does not believe the film format is the ideal place for comedy, but it is the ideal format for saying you made a film, so people keep making them, but one of the perks of being rich is he does not have to do this stuff. Arcanoloth says, I'm not a fan of his, but I think he has a good point there. The internet has replaced box office for comedy.
I'll need some more detail. What kind of flavor? How strong do you want this drink? How would you like this drink to be? And last but certainly not least, this should be all.
He come to town like a midwinter storm.
Just Call McCower says, it's funny because a lot of the movies I listed I didn't watch because she was in them, but because of the supporting cast. Arcanoloth says, interesting.
This is one of those old maps where everybody's like super tall and shit. Everybody remember them? They made the characters too tall. Too tall.
Just Call McCower says, like The Heat I watched because Sandra Bullock was in it.
The Heat. Bullock. Bollocks. Front up the asshole.
OXNYX053 says, Pet Ridge Farm remembers.
Pet Ridge Farm remembers. Which Pepper's Farm remembers. Pepper's Farm, don't forget.
Hi, Billy Mays here for text-to-speech. Are you tired of no one reading what you are saying? Then you need text-to-speech. Normal text is hard to read. Those tiny fonts can be difficult for your eyes to adjust to. Well, have I got a product for you? Microsoft Text-to-Speech. Kaboom! For only 4 easy payments of just $1,099 per month for the rest of your life. Here's how to order.
Boobies.
Samuraith says, order boobies. Arcanoloth says, yet I don't wanna go so far as to say she isn't talented, because I honestly have no idea. I just noticed she does a lot of films directed by her husband, and I'm like fair dues. But if I'm going to watch a make-work project where the director is giving their wife a job, I want it to be called Underworld or Resident Evil. Is that body shaming? Don't ban me, Twitch. Samuraith says, they're fresh and squishy.
It's fresh and squishy, it's a bit fresh and squishy.
How tall are you, Private?
Sir, 5'9", sir!
5'9". I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
I did not know they stick shit high at that.
This is Ingrid for Cryptic Support. We understand you are having trouble with Star Trek Online. Ah, yes. Those are features that are supposed to be in the game.
Damn bot.
You booked a ship bundle and are experiencing the recent changes that happen
Oh,
with the consoles. No problem, those are not nerfed. They are performing as they are intended to. We cannot give you your money back, as in our terms of service. What money you give us, you can't get back.
Arcanoloth says,
thank you for
at
contacting
Samuraith
Cryptic
Ogloff
Support.
had a gag about a dude describing breasts as soft and pliable and then her entire body was moldable and he said this is weird and gross and the shapeshifter said well, that's clearly a double standard and also unfair. Just Call Makor says, oh. Samuraith says, at Arcanoloth oh wow.
My name is
Just
Buffalo
Call
Bill.
Makor
It
says,
rubs the lotion
hot
on
deep
its skin.
finale leaked.
It does this whenever
Guess
it's
I
cold.
got to watch that.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Put the lotion back in the basket. Put the lotion back in the basket. Put the lotion in the fucking basket.
Arcanoloth says,
Bitch.
at Samuraith
Put the
Ogloff is
lotion in
top
the
tier
basket.
humor, if you haven't seen it. Samuraith says, at Arcanoloth never seen it.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna watch that stuff.
Arcanoloth says, at Just Call Makor I am always down to watch some leaked tapes of Hot D on the internet.
Hot
Samuraith says, Beach put the bullshit in the basket what the crap lol.
If you were receiving...
Just the other day, I was minding my own business getting out of a car. Suddenly this man approached me and asked me what I was doing. I told him that he was standing on my street corner, and if he didn't leave, I would make him leave.
Arcanoloth says,
Then
at
he put his
Samuraith
hands on me
Ogloff is a
after I slapped him in the face.
https://www.ogloff.com/.
When the other cops
Samuraith
arrived, I
says,
was taken to
bot
jail.
stop censoring Acre.
They kept my teeth and my ring
Samuraith
and refused
says,
to give them back to me
score.
after I attacked them.
One thing I hope you'll take away from all this is that any opinion you may have of the immorality of
I didn't get the triology thingy.
like Section 31 is a bit naive. Contrary to popular opinion among some Starfleet officers, we do not spend our days plotting evil and committing random acts of villainy like characters in a bad holodeck.
Samuraith says, Acre damn you bot. Samuraith says, LOL.
Well, invents. Join TFO. Damn you, bot. Bot fuckers more than meets the ass.
I went down to the store the other day and saw a huge-ass dildo sitting upright in a chair. I was walking away from it and accidentally slipped and sat right on that fucker. Luckily for me, no one was watching, cause I'd be having myself a cow, you know. Could you imagine, this huge dildo just sticking right out of your bumhole? I sure wouldn't fancy a sight to see that, I tell you what.
Samuraith says, "Damn you bot, damn you mister, you killed my son." Shat voice.
Killed my son.
Just Call Makor says, theorizing that people could take a shit in the public privately, the city of San Francisco built a $1.5 million toilet, and then vanished. Arcano Loth says, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You've got the right idea, other me. Will you light a candle and put it on my birthday tag? Tell you what. Bum 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 bum.
Thank you for calling Microsoft support. I am John from Chicago. How may you help me today? Sir, is it morning or night where you are in America? I was born and raised here in South Chicago near a dairy farm. We milk the cows every morning afternoon. I assure you, you are not talking to someone in India. Have you tried to
Arcano
turning
Loth
the
says,
computer off
I
and
remember
turn
reading
turning
about
it
an
to the on
engineering
position?
story where everyone in the UK was watching a soccer game and the brake came on, so everyone went to the toilet and flushed and it almost broke the water supply. Samuraith says, at Just Call Makor could always have Dr. Sam Beckett leaping toilet to toilet testing how well a crap stain can come out, keeps leaping from truck stop to truck stop looking for the perfect trucker gas station never to find it.
Quickly figuring out that the tacos gave him the shits, Dr. Sam Beckett searches for a toilet.
Samuraith says, haha.
He came to find that the only stall was in use, facing a situation that made him moan, and driven by an unknown force below his stomach. The guy taking too long was Al, a man who had the same meal an hour before Sam was even there. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself waiting in a long line, trying to hold it in before he shits his pants, and remembering next time
Samuraith says,
not to eat at this
so
restaurant.
Good.
I'll tell you what. A rubber ducky. A rubber ducky.
Bye-bye.
A rubber ducky, you're the one. Hey, rubber ducky, he's so much fun. Rubber ducky. I want my dookie. Yay for ball lightning again on something so trivial to use it on.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
OXNYX053 says, Rubber Ducky, you're the one that I have filled with so much cum.
Thinking of Ernie from
Arcano
Sesame
says,
Street. Sometimes I imagine that I would
Samu
like to
Wraith
be.
says, at Oxnix053 it's seeping.
And I tip my hat. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Arcanoloth says, what? Y'all don't have a cum box. Reddit. Scorpwana says, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already, mom's pussketty. Arcanoloth says, I was dyin' the other day, watchin' those vids of Kermit on Omegle.
Kermit the Frog. Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Samu Wraith says, it's good to have land.
Oh, it's good to have land. Get back here, mister. Get back here, you bastard. When your world is kind of weird and you wish that you weren't there, just close your ass and make a wish. And I will find you over there.
Samu Wraith says, never gets old Shat impressions.
Shat himself in the impression Shatner. He's shat in her. He didn't shat out of her, he shat in her. The Shat Man. He's the Shat Man. Gravy. Repeat after me. That's skibba-dibba-dibba scuba-dibba melody. Listen here, mister. You will get in my lights. It's my lights, not yours. My lights. My God, man, you landed on my lights.
Arcanoloth says, I'm visualizing Shatner doing the Shatman scat.
Beep bop bop bottle boop. Bop bop bottle boop. Beep bop bop bottle boop. Bop 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 ba beep bop bop bottle boop. Bop bop bottle boop. Beep bop bop bottle boop. Bop 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 bop. Skibidi-bidi yo do do. Yo do do. Skip skibidi-bidi yo do do. Yo do do. Skip skibidi-bidi yo do do. Yo do do. Skibidi-bidi yo do do. He's the Scat Man. Beep bop bop bottle boop. Repeat after me. Set skibidi-bidi scuba-dibba melody. Bop bop bottle boop. I'd have never learned about that song if it hadn't been for Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Arcanoloth says, I did not shat in her, I did not. SFX of Half-Life 2 Metrico saying pick up that can. Oh hi Spock.
Oh hi Spock. Me first.
Samu Wraith says, imagine Shat doing Quantum Leap. Hey Al. Hey, Al you bastard.
Bastard, you've killed my leap. You Klingon bastards, you've killed my son. That's what you've done over here. What you've done over there. You bastard, mister. I have had enough of you.
Samu Wraith says, Al you bastard, you leaped me to the wrong place.
You bastard. Klingon bastards. You've killed my son. He was the most human.
Those go find
Transmutation. Potions and you.
For 400.
Did you know that the vast majority
OXNYX053 says, how?
How? In the year 3000. In the year 3000.
Wilkins have sometimes been characterized as hobgoblins, but I think they're a bit more real.
Samu Wraith says, imagine Shat taking a mediocre job, he'd still make it epic.
Have you ever watched Invasion Iowa?
Go find The Great Recipes of Neelix, Volume 10.
Volume 10. 10.
Samu Wraith says, nope, never seen that.
Invasion Iowa. William Shatner goes to the birthplace of Captain James T. Kirk. Which is in Iowa, right? So he goes there to tell the town that he's going to be filming a movie there. So you see him filming a movie. He's running around. He's got stunt people, all this kind of crap or whatever. And at the very end of it, he what am I doing? At the very end of it, of every episode, he's actually filming the town to kind of prank them in a way or something. I can't remember exactly what was going on there, but yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, you know, he'd let them watch like the footage that he filmed, but then the actual footage was like of them doing things or something like that. And but some of the stuff that was hilarious to watch was like, he's like, we're gonna have a running scene right here, and I'm gonna pretend to start running. Then my stunt guy will come in here, and he'll do the running, and then we'll cut back to me being the one who stopped running. It was so fucking funny. Invasion Iowa, William Shatner.
Samu Wraith says, LOL, and he'll do the running, haha, sounds funny.
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna lift this weight here. You're gonna see me do it on camera, but the stunt man's gonna be the one lifting the weight. Swipe the skull and make sure they don't break their legs or something. But it was called Invasion Iowa. Invasion Iowa. Fa la 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 la. Join the ancient Yuletide carol.
Samu Wraith says, okay, I'll have to go hunt it down, maybe on YouTube.
It might be on YouTube, yes. Invasion Iowa. Swipe the heck while they are vulnerable. Witches and warlocks and demons and zombies. Ghosts with the most. Skeletor, you look fresh and out of your bindings.
OXNYX053 says, what the actual freak? I know I am at least okay at Stowe. But if you're going to drop the funds to make an angry red gravity well, let the stupid thing do damage. A battle zone teasing the frigate should not live through it.
Disabled. I'm not disabled. I am enabled, mister. Strike the hags while they're vulnerable. What the heck, mister? In the not too distant future, somewhere in time and space, was a guy named Joel. Not too different from you or me. Bonniekin. Bonniekin. Hand me another drink, Bonniekin. Have Arthur. Dudley Moore. Arthur.
Arcanoloth says, are we DPS shaming? Cause that's not against Twitch rules last I checked.
Hello, Lord Davidian Megatron. I wanna kick you. Okay, I feel better.
Samuraith says, at Oxnix053 I know the feeling. I was in a TIFO with jellyfish in exotic trait mode and was attacking a dreadnought and it wasn't taking damage. I was like, the hell.
The whole thing will blow!
Sabotage.
Computer?
Stop shooting, you son of a bitch! Stop shooting, you son of a bitch! Stop shooting, you son of a bitch!
Hello, computer.
Ah, damn it.
Just use the keyboard.
Samuraith says, stop shooting shat voice.
Quaint.
Sabotage.
Arcanoloth says, I feel like, between the players who try hard TFOs with busted builds complaining about the players who trivialize randoms with actual builds, the player that AFKs and gets paid exactly the same as everyone else and they get to browse Reddit is the one winning. OXNYX053 says, I mean sure, spec your sick captain to heal/tank. All good. Your DPS will drop like a meteorite. But FFS, that trait does you no good. Samuraith says, who ya gonna call Shatbuster? Arcanoloth says, the problem with this realization is, the next question is why even play?
This would be a good one for anybody who has Ghostbuster like setups or whatever and jumpsuits and whatnot. You know, have 4 people that have Ghostbusters garb on and
Samuraith says, at Oxnix053 Oidkin advanced for the most part I did alright.
You bastard, I've got your ass, mister. Talking away.
Samuraith says, not great but okay.
Not great but okay.
OXNYX053 says, well. By BS Tetrian cannon build was covering all 3 locations in the block the array thing. With the Synod a ship and a cruiser to support me. Some.
Do 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 do. We don't want none of your stuff. Okay, thanks. Mary Mo.
Samuraith says, I don't usually run science, usually TAC builds. OXNYX053 says, wow, that some vibed right.
Vibed right? Bad. Like some. Because of the period. Yeah, text-to-speech had a period. She's alright, though, because, you know, it doesn't last very long. Sam Dean.
Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith define TAC build.
Define TAC build. I must know what your TAC build is. What you got? Baby, I got it. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Threw your arms in the air and said you're crazy.
Samuraith says, more focused on DPS, less on shield restoration and science abilities.
Shields. They're multiplying. It's electrifying. gotta shape up. 'Cause you need a man. And a heart in a man. Gotta shit up. Can I stand?
Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith science abilities can post world record DPS in some maps, and
Shut up,
competitive
Wesley.
DPS in all maps. OXNYX053 says, my first Psi main was a Romulan, they got no end cap ship so I was stuck in a melon escort for the Uni LT commander for a slot. So I was tac skill tree D. I rerolled my skills when I got the Eternal class for a Psi tree. Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith lots of ways to do DPS in this game, but I'm no closer to find out what attack build means.
Was it attack? Just a tactical officer? Not a science officer, not a engineering officer, but just a tactical bridge captain, perhaps? Perhaps not. Perhaps. Carry for the win. Bang.
OXNYX053 says, said theme build Romulan Psi got me into a 150k DPS chat channel recently. Arcanoloth says, Scorp, you hit the nail on the head. Tactical is a captain career and an officer career, not a space build type.
Explosion! Gary the Klingon, running in a circle here. Please be something fast. You son of a bitch.
You have penetrated to the heart.
Penetrated.
Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 see this is what I'm talking about.
See what happens?
Once you understand STO, you can do theme builds and easily do enough damage to trivialize all normal and advanced content. Samuraith says, I always figured tactical science whichever officer you chose favored abilities and cooldown reduction it affected, not to mention ground kits you could choose. Samuraith says, see what happens Scorp, you see Mr. What happens.
You see what happens,
Arcanoloth
mister, you
says,
see what happens.
at Oxnix053 it's really only elite mode where certain build types just don't work, but if you don't do elites, that does not affect you.
It don't affect you? Don't affect you? Affectionately.
Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith you would be forgiven for this misconception because STO doesn't really tell you that's not how it works.
It's not.
Sweep this room quickly and you'll catch the Borg off guard.
OXNYX053 says, I still think DPS bronze's cutoff is 10k. That is any tier 4 ship, add 2 Mark 12 green energy based TAC consoles, TAC Team 1, fire at WILL2, and you can blank your traits. That build hits the mark.
Reinforcements. There's been weakening some reinforcements, Scoob. Like, oh my god, Scoob. Oh, you piece of shit, Scoob. Rawr.
Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith I love these build complexity games, but the big downside of build complexity is, you have to know a bunch of stuff before you make a build, and that puts a big spike in the learning curve. They will never be the most accessible games ever made. Samuraith says, but you have to be running the right consoles, right? Samuraith says, for science, for engineering.
Stayed on the rail so I wouldn't get hit. What? I was over here already. What the fuck? Yeah. Excuse you.
Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith consoles are one part of the build. I'd take a build with empty console slots and the bridge officer skills are sorted over a build where the consoles are lobby but the officer skills are jank and I'm not allowed to change them. That second build will fail. Samuraith says, that laugh scorp haha. OXNYX053 says, right means if you use a fed ship, 2 phaser relays. Klingon, 2 disruptor coil inducers. You literally can keep all other slots empty. Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith people fixate on gear but the bridge skill layout is the most important part. OXNYX053 says, that in location, be where you need to be to hit the targets you need or want to hit. Samuraith says, at Arcanoloth so my captain's skills or the bridge consoles. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053.
Join us, you join.
Samuraith says, also thought specialization is a part of that.
Blame it on the Wookiee. The Wookiee? Yeah, Han Solo's Wookiee. So you can take that cookie and shove it up his ass.
OXNYX053 says, when I help someone to start a build, I load them up on heals. Dead ships do no DPS. And let them know as they get better at flying that thing, remove a heal and add something that aids your DPS. Samuraith says, I'm usually emphasized to pick tactician and intel. Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith captain skill tree costs a retain token to fix so I don't worry about it. It's less relevant now than it used to be due to power creep from endeavors and traits and gear and the rest of the game. Fix the bridge officer skills, rest of the build flows from that. OXNYX053 says, my cannon escort has 1 heal now. It started with 4 or 5.
Do. Damn it. I'm trying to get it to where it'll hurt the other players. This is not working out the way I hoped. Damn it. Crap on a cracker. Yeah, cat shit and onions. Ooh.
Samuraith says, I still run 2 heals, 1 for hull, the other for shields.
Yes.
OXNYX053 says, there is a project where you can get a free retain token per rep at tier 6. Which is a nice thing for the free 2 players. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 survivability questions, I'm typically dealing with someone that is dying on normal mode, and Stow is counterintuitive here because people think they need more heals but that just means you die slowly. If targets on normal mode aren't evaporating as soon as you look at them, then the build is seriously busted and that needs to be addressed first before anything else. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 I'm assuming they are not asking about elites, if you do Space Elites you don't need help from Twitch chat.
Can't you get retrained tokens
says,
from
their energy levels are wrong.
thing? You can get it from like your reputations, right?
OXNYX053 says, I can do elites. But I would be the weak link. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 that's number 1 day one thing yeah. Stowe just doesn't tell people how it works at all. Samuraith says, yep I don't do elites guys sorry. Samuraith says, I'm not that good.
Elliot's. Elliot's. Resistance is futile.
Samuraith says, and my gear is mediocre.
Mediocre knees and toes. Knees and toes. Knees and toes.
OXNYX053 says, also, if they are her from console, they can't do costume power levels. Arcanoloth says, I've ran with some high DPS players and been hard carried to 400k DPS, and I was the weak link struggling with piloting to keep up. At the high end, piloting is the weak link. Samuraith says, at Oxnix053 well guess I'm screwed no costume. Samuraith says,
screwed.
LOL. OXNYX053 says, at Samuraith until your reps are up, use the soul defense or preemptive, incontrovertible, set.
Bend over. Ah, damn it.
OXNYX053 says, we're talking Konesl, aren't we?
Console.
Samuraith says, yep at Oxnix053. OXNYX053 says, Shazbot. Arcanoloth says, at Oxnix053 that's a good convo prompt, mission replay only, no rep or fleet stuff, how do we assemble a free deeps build?
ROCK in the USA.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
That's right. Collect a shirt today. Yeah, Tanagra. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Samuraith says, the shirt.
In stores.
Samuraith says, I want the Shat shirt lol.
The Shat shirt. It's William Shatner sitting on a toilet or either
Samuraith says,
leg spread
he
wide.
shat on it lol.
His legs spread wide, leaning next to a tree, taking a shit.
OXNYX053 says, see above sets for ship gear. Preserver set all 3 has a haste for 20 ISH seconds every 2 minutes. Martok set, 2 PC, no torp. Nas icon set all 3. Arcanoloth says, I need that shirt, and the one with Gaius Frakeen Baltar that says not my president.
Gaius Baltar. Gaius. 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 Blonde with a red dress. Trisha Hilfer.
You cannot defeat me.
It looks like we just didn't. Maybe the Borg can defeat themselves, mister. The Borg defeated
Samu Wraith
themselves.
says, at Arcano loathe me, I'll take Picard plucking the rose.
Jean-Marc Angelard at Tanagra, damn it. When a bitch screams.
Arcano Loath says, I will probably watch the new Battlestar Galactica show because the showrunner showed he could do work with Mr. Robot.
Oh, there's a new Battlestar Galactica coming out? I was not aware. The fact that he had no hair. He
Samu
wasn't
Wraith
aware.
says, is there a new Battlestar? Arcano Loath says, damn that noise when we finish off the Borg Queen. She finishes hard.
That's right. Harden with passion.
Arcano Loath says, well, they announced he was the showrunner.
Shrunner. He was the Shrunner. Ryza module's too powerful against the Borg.
Samu Wraith says, Borg Queen finishes with Force Scorp LOL.
She's got interchangeable parts. She can just plug herself into a new bottom.
OXNYX053 says, it is a disruptor beam build. Get a dual beam bank for the front and crafted /lockbox Omni for the rear also. Arcano Loath says, at Samu Wraith that bitch. Samu Wraith says, LUL. Scorpwana says, bitches for Algernon.
Dang it.
OXNYX053 says, which begs the question, what type of ship are we building? Arcano Loath says, okay, reading news. Apparently Apple TV is courting Sam Esmail for their Metropolis show.
Metropolis? Like based off of Superman? Ismail? What? The fudge sickle? Metropolis. Metropolis.
Romeo India Zulu says, the good ship Lollipop.
The good ship Rizzo Pop. There's a Riz.
Arcano Loath says, at Oxnix 053 free deeps, it can be energy, or exotic. Kinetic is too pricey immo. Samu Wraith says, at Oxnix 053 yes, so much I'd have to build. Samu Wraith says, I usually go beams. Arcano Loath says, at Oxnix 053 you can do kinetic if you like, but I think energy and exotic are more affordable. OXNYX053 says, so putting in my mind a 4/4 cruiser would be fine. Scorpwana says, beams FTW. Arcano Loath says, at Samu Wraith benefit of beams if you can do that on any hull. Every other build type, you have to check if the hull has what you need. Scorpwana says, the back of Commander Arnold's head. OXNYX053 says, USS Plumber. Samu Wraith says, at Scorpwana wow ha ha ha. Scorpwana says, the front of the back of his eye sockets. Samu Wraith says, Arnold's head. Arcano Loath says, at Samu Wraith a lot of people never move on from this build type because they simple do not care to learn that much about STO, and that's fine. IRL can be quite the distraction for some. Scorpwana says, I am Tay IRL. Scorpwana says, thug. Scorpwana says, brr. Scorpwana says, Bertrenolds. Samuraith says, at Arcanoloth I had to learn to keep strafing with beams alternate sides so I could keep my shields up somewhat. OXNYX053 says, let me check something. I think I have a F2P build on a Cardi. Which is funny, as that is a pay-to-play race. Arcanoloth says, so the current NBC party line is they wanna do a movie in the Battlestar Galactica universe and it will be a shared universe with the Sam Esmail series. Scorpwana says, it's cold in there. Romeo India Zulu says, ah yes, the serpentine flight pattern. I know it well. OXNYX053 says, tell me you at least use the weapon energy preset. Scorpwana says, I have no idea who Sam Esmail is. Streamlabs says, at Scorpwana can we call it quits early? I have another channel I'm supposed to be in soon. Arcanoloth says, at Samuraith depending on content, if NPCs have shield drains, then shields are gone, so you'll hear high-end players say shields don't matter cause that's true on the parsing maps they use, Borg Dryan shields and they fall. Samuraith says, at Oxnix053 it the energy preset. Arcanoloth says, at Scorpwana add MR robot to watch list. Scorpwana says, at Streamlabs yes. Just Call Makor says, call it quits early my ass. Stream is in overtime. Scorpwana says, I watched Mr. Robot and kinda didn't finish it. Samuraith says, Bitnov. Scorpwana says, at Just Call Makor. Samuraith says, stream end no. Arcanoloth says, at Scorpwana I enjoyed it, but not everyone's show. OXNYX053 says, are you in Score Discord? Samuraith says, at Oxnix053 yet. Scorpwana says, yar. Arcanoloth says, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = 0v394c6ha4. Arcanoloth says, for everyone to enjoy on this Saturday night. Scorpwana says, tits and ass and tits and ass and tits and ass and tits and ass.
Daddy? Daddy? My zipper's stuck.
Scorpwana says, my thumb is stuck.
Get in the car, Junior.
OXNYX053 says, these are the sets I was talking about. Samuraith says, Score eyes are stuck.
Let me tell you something, Junior. If you ever embarrass me like that again,
flatulate on a finger and sniffing it for your
enjoyment. You're never
enjoyment.
gonna have to open your fly again.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bow down before the almighty bunghole.
Arcanoloth says, set that
No!
song as your ringtone and impress
I
your
am Cornholio.
coworkers.
I need TV for my
Samuraith
bunghole.
says,
Put your
bow
hands
down.
behind your back. Are you threatening me?
Stop resisting.
Throw the book at him, Thirth. Take him to jail. He's a weirdo and no one likes him anyway.
You must release
Samuraith
the almighty
says,
bunghole.
resist.
You will not hurt the mighty bunghole. I will resist. I will resist. Stay on me. You must release me now. Nobody.
Meanwhile,
You will not restrain the almighty bunghole.
Samu Wraith says, you will not restrain the almighty bunghole. OXNYX053 says, well, I am streaming in one of his voice channels. Not sure how well that looks on a phone. Arcanoloth says, at Samu Wraith. Scorpwana says, nice ox.
Nice. I'm going to shut her down, y'all. I gotta go to bed. Oh, or attempt to, at least. Maybe I won't wake up again. Let's hope we never wake up again. Entertaining night. Yes.
Arcanoloth says, okay, I will work out how to stream on Twitch for after party.
Pronto
Y'all inspired
Estanis
me.
Flamenco
Arcanoloth says, nice score. Arcanoloth says, GG. OXNYX053 says, promises, promises.
Chris Farley thing. Oh, shit. Cool. Sounds like an awesome thing. Give it a shot, I say at least. Everybody should try streaming at one point. It's really entertaining. Okay. Going to click on end. Good night, everybody. Y'all have fun. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night. Sleep tight. Let the bed bugs bite. They're people too. Befriend a bee. Bye-bye.